Follow us on Twitter at KMega4.
Welcome to the GRG podcast.
Play that for you.
Nope. Yep. It could be your old lady. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. The GRG podcast is alive. And we are full effect. Let's get it. Oh, my man said Red Lobster for me tonight with some Strangers of Paradise. I love it. I love it. I love it. Our main man, Sleepy Goblin, a person that has been here damn near since the beginning of GRG, said that he beat Melania. And I am very happy and proud of him. Every time I think about fighting her, it gives me a shiver down my spine because she beat me down so much. It was awful. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We have a returning guest from last week. I don't know if his mic situation is here fixed, but it is 3 o'clock in the morning where he's at, and he could be half asleep. He could be, I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Crazy stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? Is he always asleep? I don't know. But we also have another guest, though. First time. And, was chopping it up with him, trying to figure him out because, I do not know, because I can't trust Ham Solo anymore. Ham Solo was this gentle soul when I first met him, but now his true colors are coming out. And so now
he got comfortable.
Yeah, he got comfortable. So now I'm going to call him AKA the devious one. And then I'm gonna get my stream deck and stuff together so I can go ahead and have some sound effects and some gifts popping up. But
I got your new name for him real quick, Kama. You can call him the new penis demon.
Ooh, yeah.
Come on now.
I'll,
Come on now.
I'll cut you real deep.
Dude, you got that on your sound thing. Don't even try it.
No, I don't. But I am going to bring that back.
I knew you were going to do it.
But the problem is here that, listen, I haven't said the penis demon ever. Well, I can't say ever in a long ass time. For people to still remember me saying that about, because it's a true creature in Persona. People didn't believe me, but that just shows people don't be playing Persona but capping about it.
It's a true creature in real life too if you get the right lady.
No, hold on, wait. Back up. Now, before I get introduced like this, I'm going to have to clarify something. If a lady is the penis demon, then damn it, something is wrong.
No, I was talking about you using your penis demon.
Okay, all right.
What part of that did he not understand and he just totally threw in a wrong direction?
Y'all knew that sounded off. I had to try to correct that.
Stop being country, K-Mega.
Stop being filthy, you old dirty man. Anyway, let's go. Our first time guest, Matt like, I said Matt. Matt like Games.
Return of the Mac.
I know.
So
we can try to call him. If he comes back again, we can call him Matt. But anyway, Matt, thank you for coming through. For people out there that don't know you, the link is in the description. Please check it out. Also, give a little background about yourself. How did you get started? What games you like to play? And talk about your channel. So go ahead and do all that. Let us know.
Okay, so I like RPGs, FPS games. I like, third-person games every now and then. But you can what was the other question there you have for me, K-Mega?
Basically, like just your channel, where they can find you at.
Matt Likes Games.
Like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Matt Likes Games on YouTube. I make content over there. That got started late February 2020, right before the whole situation we're all in now started. And you can check me out over on Twitter at Matt Likes Games, games spelled with a 3. But and I have a podcast, The Game Drain, every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern with Ham Solo over on the Game Drain YouTube channel. So definitely check that out as well.
I like that. I do like that. I think that's a slick name for a podcast. No doubt. All right, cool, definitely. And I think that I'm supposed to be one of your guests Sunday, right?
Yes, you are.
Right.
Sunday, 7 Central, 7 p.m. Central.
Yep.
All right, yeah, I'll be there, and I'll be a proper guest, not like this old fuddy-duddy that's down there that you just heard talking.
I'm one of the nicest people you ever will know, dude. I'm a very nice guy.
Okay, people, please share
See how the Xbox community treats each other.
Ain't that right, Sleepy?
See how the Xbox community treats each other. They're always at war.
Oh, okay. So let's go ahead since our boy Locke is still can't get in for some reason. I don't know what's happening.
I'm listening. I am listening.
You sure? Because you wasn't talking.
You need to stop calling me Locke.
It's Locke. It is. He got his name from Halo 5. I'm telling you.
See,
that's why he cut his hair.
Man, I'm telling you, man. Solo. You guys are just propagating the American stereotype that Americans don't know how to pronounce people's names, y'all. This ain't helping your PR department.
Well, you're black, you're bald, you're a Halo fanatic. You read all the books.
Love it.
Don't you know Americans have some of the worst education in the world? Don't you know that?
We listen to you every time, Sir X-Man, so we know.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to help y'all.
Correct your English a lot more than you correct anybody else's.
I didn't say. Listen, you know what? I will have to accept that. You will get a ding ding for that because I don't know how I survived as a host as long as I have, but it is okay. I do think that. But people out here, share this out. Let everybody know that we are live. Yes, survive.
Really?
Still holding on to a thread.
Can't wait for that new show because we got a lot to talk about for surviving, don't we, K-Mega?
Oh, yes, sir. We definitely got to talk about that.
What's the future like right now, Spartan Locke?
Oh.
You just
Lo,
wrong.
okay, so Lo, thank you for coming back. There were so many names, I forgot. I did forget. So please, Lo, Block, a lantern.
Like,
you know
it looks like
I don't know.
Luke.
I don't even know.
Luke, dude. That's what it looks like to me.
No, it's not that.
Let's just call him Luke Cage.
Oh,
no.
Okay, that is actually funny. That is actually funny. Well done, Ham. Well done.
I was just trying to pronounce it correctly, but I've never seen a name like that, so it's gonna take me a minute.
It doesn't make any sense. You're right.
Okay, can we let this man introduce himself, please? Okay, so the man.
Let's just keep it moving, y'all.
Yeah, no, the man with 1,000 moves, with 1,000 names. Please introduce yourself.
1,000 moves. That's what she said. Jesus.
See, this is what happens when we don't have.
Damn, that's more moves than in the Kumasatra.
Oh shit! This is what happens when we don't have women on the.
I'm a suture,
Damn.
I'm starting to bring Can't make it start to rub off on me, dude. He's rubbing off on me. I'm getting cut.
Damn, he's rubbing off on you? Is that how y'all Xbox dudes be doing it?
Kirby tight, please get well. Hurry up and come back.
You guys are brutal, just like me. I love it. I love it.
Is that what Matt? Is that why Matt joined the party tonight?
God. Shit. Okay. Anyway,
guys, is this a video game podcast? What the fuck?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Come on, man. Let's roll it back. Let's pull it in. Let's pull it back. Let's get it.
Pull it in?
No.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
Oh my God. You know what?
I mean, at least let me get the lube before we're talking about pulling it in and pulling it out.
See, this is
that. Let me go ahead and pop this.
Hold on. Since we're talking about lubrication,
I was not going to drink tonight, but I guess I might as well.
Let's be serious. Let's be serious, guys.
Okay, yeah.
Durex lube or Vaseline?
I mean, yeah.
Why don't you just?
Okay, just you spit. I got you. Anyway,
keep going there. I'm leaving it alone.
Ham Solo, what's going on, man? What's been happening?
Man, you sound like you're gonna say where can they find you so you can get the fuck off here? He's trying to get me out of here.
I know I gotta know somebody in Milwaukee. I'm gonna get his ass anyway. So where can he find you?
Oh my God!
Oh man, they can find me.
Oh shit!
They can find constantly lurking on Twitter. But at HamSolo05 game. But yeah, I've been playing. I beat Uncharted 2 last night. Beat Trek to Yomi last night.
Nice.
I've also been playing Sniper Elite 5 with Matt. Me and him been tandeming that game.
You gotta tell me how that game is later.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Let's see. Matt Likes Games really got me into GT7, so I've been playing that quite a bit.
Oh, shut up, man.
he's been really selling it to me, so.
Drinking that milk.
And no one's selling you that game.
Dude, it's unbelievable though. Better than Uncharted 2 by far. Also been playing Mass Effect 2. I just got done streaming that for a little over about an hour and a half earlier today. Other than that, I think that's about it, really, because I'm just kind of getting off being sick and everything. So yeah,
sick, all right.
All right. Yes. All right, and Sir X-Man, man, what's going on? How you doing? Oh man, appreciate the gift for
Oh, you got the Ace Combat?
Yeah, I saw it. I gotta maneuver some stuff around. The last time I played Ace Combat was on PlayStation 2. So that should tell you that, like,
dude, it's hard, but
hasn't changed.
See how it looks on the Series X, man. Oh my God, it totally changed the game, man.
I bet it looks amazing, but I mean, yeah, it was a difficult.
It's like PlayStation 2, good.
Oh wow, it's hard though, because I'll tell about it another time. But pretty much I've been enjoying, believe it or not, F1 2021. I've been enjoying the fuck out of that game.
How is that game?
Oh man, they finally got the physics down right. Oh my god! And I just can't put it down. I'm doing 14 to 30 lap races in it, dude. I'm just enjoying it, man. So it's hard to put down, and I'm still trying to finish my Shadow Warriors 3. So there's just too many games for me to play right now. I have no time for whatever game is getting delayed. I'm not worried about it. That's it.
I got you on that. I also since I had to redo my gameplay, I went ahead and so like all this stuff that you're seeing is gameplay that I was playing all this last week. And this is that
What is this game?
This is Bright Memory Infinite. So yeah, this game is it's fun as hell, man.
Looks
it's
explosive.
Really it's very explosive. It's short, but it's very explosive.
Wasn't this game like in a Xbox trailer or something like that?
Yeah. This game is slated to come out this year on Xbox.
Yeah. One of those It's Comings, right?
Yeah. So
yeah.
You know, I mean,
yeah, it's coming.
It's coming.
I
mean, I'm playing it, showing Xbox gamers what they got to expect and enjoy.
It's like playing the PS5 and Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, right? It's like it's coming.
Deathloop is going to come out this year. What's coming?
It is coming.
Yes.
Oh, just real quick, one more thing.
Ham is trying hard as hell.
Hey guys,
he really is.
Hey guys, seriously, one more thing about this new F122. It has co-op campaign mode, so you can play with another person and he could be your second driver. I haven't seen that in something like that in about 15, 16 years for a racing game.
That does sound kind of interesting. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's sick, dude.
That's cool. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss tonight. So man, we might as well just go get into it. And we're gonna have some trivia because I'm looking forward to that after I slayed last week. I hope our man is ready to get because now I'm afraid to say his name now because I don't even know what it is.
It's hot.
I hope it's not. It's Loke.
Han Solo was sleepy as shit last week. He couldn't remember shit. It wasn't fair.
He wasn't sleeping? What are you talking about? Oh my goodness.
See, Sir X-Man fails me. He understands where I'm coming from, bro.
Sir X-Man fails me, yes. Not
he failed you.
I listened to the show.
Here we go, Loke.
And he was tired, dude.
All right, so let's get to it. All right, so former Xbox VPs worried about Game Pass, thinking that it could lead to people not buying games going on in the future. He compared Game Pass to Spotify and how Spotify is kind of pretty much from his perspective is wrecked the music industry. So let's go straight to our guest, Matt. What do you think about what do you think about that, man? I mean, do you think that this former VP is on to something, or do you think that he might be just a little bit out of touch, and maybe that's why he's a former vice president of a company and not there?
Yeah, listen. I don't want to say he's a kind of out of touch, or it seems a little out because it's like the data they've given us, Xbox, Microsoft, has said that people in Game Pass buy more. I mean, I know for myself personally, I buy more games than ever because I'm in Game Pass. Because I save a ton of money on other games. So money I wasn't spending on those games, I'm now spending buying other games. So it's like, I feel like that works against itself. What he's saying doesn't add up to me personally. And also that music example he used, it's like the music industry is still the music industry. You could still buy CDs. People, in fact, people are getting into vinyls again.
Yeah.
So it's like, right. It's like there's still gonna be games. You can still buy games. Game Pass is an option. It's not here to kill the other things. It's just an option. That's all it is. It's a good option.
Okay. All right. Cool. What about you, Lo? What's your thoughts about this? I mean, do you agree with the VP, the former VP, or do you agree with Matt here?
I don't agree with either one of them.
Oh, okay, all right.
As far as the music industry, it has shrunk. It used to be much bigger. The artists used to make a lot more money. They didn't have to tour as much as they do now, because even though there is more money to go around because of Spotify, what happens is ain't nobody listening to MC K Mega, you know? Like 98% of the traffic on Spotify is motherfucking Drake and these guys. So in terms of like discovery and whatever, it's making it very difficult for the up and coming artists to make a living. On the other hand, saying that people won't buy games anymore, that's where I have to agree with Matt, because same thing happened to me. I used to buy like one game a month because I could only afford I still can only afford one AAA game a month. So I don't know how someone sat down and reverse engineered it. What's happening now is I'm buying 4 or 5 games a month thanks to Game Pass. So we can definitely agree on the fact that in terms of people buying games, the tendency is the opposite. People are probably buying more games now. As far as the industry moving forward, it's just blowing smoke. No one really knows how far this will go. If Bill Gates loses his appetite for throwing money at this, Game Pass could die tomorrow. But if Bill Gates decides to go psycho, literally he could kill Sony tomorrow as well. So
it's a great point.
Everyone's just throwing spitballing on the wall. Anything could happen, really. That's my take on it.
All right, that's a really good point. Yeah, I mean, you're right. If Bill said, "Look, man, I'm tired of Sony's BS. Let's crush them." I mean, it is absolutely, no, that is crazy. You're absolutely right. Yeah, so no, okay, well, we're gonna go to Sir X Man. I'm gonna leave you for last, Ham Solo. So Sir X Man, what's your initial thoughts of what the former VP said? Like, I mean, do you agree with people on the panel, or do you have your own take? What do you think?
Could you rephrase what he said for me, please, if you don't mind?
He said that Game Pass would lead to gamers not buying games going further in the future. That's what he's worried about. He feels that because of like Spotify when it first came out in 2000, I believe 2005, 2010, it was different. But now you look at the music market, and it seems like that artists aren't getting paid the way that they used to, and he's thinking that Game Pass will go the same way if gamers decide that they'd rather just get the subscription and not pay for games. So do you agree with that?
No. Artists, the minute everything pretty much had went to CDs and stuff and CDs started disappearing and vinyl started disappearing, artists were slowly starting to lose revenue anyway. They pretty much, for their bulk of their revenue, they could only count on pretty much doing venues and concerts like they used to, you know? But they get royalties for all the time people listen to their music. That hasn't gone away. Every time it's played on the satellite radio, every time, I know we're just another service, but I'm just saying, every time it's played on the satellite, on satellite, every time it's played on like any radio station, they still get royalties for it. So they're still making money. Don't believe some of that that's out there. But I buy my games, and Game Pass saved me money. I have it for 2 years now since I got the Game Pass thing. Got the new console. So I did it through the EA, the Xbox Access thing. I'll have that paid off soon. But I got 2 years. That's more money in my pocket, something I ain't got to worry about every month. That's more games that I can buy. And especially when they get discounted, I'm really saving money. So Game Pass is a good thing for me. You know, I don't have to worry about it. I can play games in the cloud like today. I'm just giving an example. Every time I play a game and log into that game, they're getting some money. Every time you log into a game, they're getting some money. It works just like on Spotify or anywhere else. You know, for some of the people, when Microsoft pays it in advance, it's a different story. I don't have to worry about it. But for the ones that want to come in there and have their games tried, Microsoft gives them a percentage of the games played. Plus, if people like the game and when they take it out, they get a percentage of the sale if people really like a game and end up buying it. Everybody around is still making money. And all we spend is out on base is $15 a month. For those that do it like that. Everybody's done ran out of that $1 deal by now. You know, so I like it. I'm able to buy the games that I really want that I can't play in Game Pass, you know, and it works out. It benefits everybody, you know, and there's no disadvantage to it. Cloud save, PC save, you know, everybody's making money all the way around. That's why developers are trying to rush to it, especially with new IPs that want to get tried. And then when they make the second version of a game, if the first one became a hit, you know, they're pretty much going to put it out where people can buy it because they like the first one. So developers are making money. It ain't going nowhere. And that's my thoughts on it.
Okay. All right. What about you, Ham? What's your thoughts about this, man? Are you going to be different? Are you got a different take, or you going to agree with pretty much everybody else on here? Ham.
I'm gonna let Bad Take Blake take a seat for a little bit, and I'm actually gonna answer something with some.
What'd you call yourself? Bad Take Blake? Oh my god.
Bad Take Blake.
Oh my god. Okay.
But anyways, on a real note, so like,
could you choose a more Caucasian name?
Blake Griffin. Are we gonna, you know, just jump from talking about games and talk about freaking names that African Americans should have?
Yeah. Okay, keep it moving.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway,
Shaka Zulu.
yeah, right. Excuse me, Bambata.
No,
my bad.
Lay off Shaka, please. Y'all can have fucking Black Panther and all that plastic shit.
I got the multiple disc box set. I love Shaka.
Are we serious right now? Come on. Ham Solo, please go ahead.
Thank you. So, like, on a real note, it helps a lot with certain games being sold, but it damages a lot of other games. I could totally see that. So in a way, I see what the guy is worried about, the former VP or whatever. I see what he's saying for like maybe like AAA games or like first party big games, but or even third party, you know, AAA games or whatnot. But fact of the matter is like, you know, they did their statistics for like Game Pass wasn't just sitting on their hands, and they weren't just like, oh, you know what, like we're just gonna make things free. They're not free. They're getting paid up front for what they are putting onto the service. I don't know how many times a developer has to come out and say, hey, we're already paid. We're good.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the crowd's always saying, you know what, you're not paying these guys. These guys aren't getting anything. And that couldn't be further from the truth. It's not exactly like Spotify, like people think. Because in Spotify, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but an artist has to have a certain amount of, you know, a certain amount of, you know, views or listens or whatnot to earn their monthly check, right? Just to even get paid.
Right.
It's not the same if you're in Game Pass as a game and you got paid already, and then that, you know, being on, people being on your game, not watch time, but what would you call it?
What for people
playtime?
Like
playtime. Yeah, like playtime. So like they get further revenue if a lot of people are like engaging with the game.
That's the
correct?
word. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
So like I don't think this is a bad thing like he suggests it is. I could see how it could be kind of tougher for a game like Starfield or Contraband and stuff like that to make sales when you initially drop it day one in a service. But the thing that Xbox is trying to do is to promote a service. They're not promoting one game. So this is 100% like helping and in a positive light for Xbox. Will it be positive for these AAA games? That's yet to see, and I don't even think Xbox exactly knows if it is quite yet. They just know that they need to get people on the service, and they want a good deal to be available. So, I mean, I don't really think this conversation is even close to over. It's more or less just kind of evolving still. We don't know.
Hey, Hams, real quick, there's one game that it did do good for that made people buy it, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, there's that. There's Scarlet Nexus as well. I mean, there's
you got to admit, everybody, Game Pass is good for games that did not do that good because it didn't get the light of day out there for advertising or nobody knew about it when it came out. And it comes back, and comes to Game Pass, and all of a sudden, boom, it ended up being really good.
But I think the thing is we're not really talking about like Guardian of the Galaxy or a Scarlet Nexus because they didn't drop day one.
Right.
We're talking about, or at least I'm talking about, like a game that drops initially in Game Pass. The revenue that it can be. Oh my god. Like the revenue that could be potentially made compared to if you didn't put it on that subscription service. Like we already know. Like I don't think anybody could argue that if Starfield didn't come to Game Pass, that it wouldn't still be successful. I 100% think it'd still be a big hit.
Yeah, for sure it would be.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that 100%.
So I think what a lot of people are like scratching their heads about is like, dude, you're leaving money on the table. Like, but why?
Well,
and the thing is like you can't. To me, it's like I'm not going to tell Microsoft, the people that got like what seems like an endless pocket. I'm not going to tell them to not do that. They're hooking me up. Like that's where I'm kind of at with it. I'm not going to argue with, like I mean, if Gordon Ramsay said, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna pay for your dinners for the next week," I'm not going to ask him how his finances are. I'm just going to say thanks and take it.
It depends on what restaurant he tell you is coming from. One of the ones before he worked.
No, you're not going to tell him. You're not going to say no. Free food is free food, Jack.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right?
You ain't going to.
I mean, if he gives me a free week to McDonald's and then the next week he gives me a free week to Steak and Shake and stuff like that, I'm maybe like the next week better than the previous week. but regardless, I'm taking the free food.
Yeah.
What was you going to say, Mike? I mean, Matt. Sorry, I'm sorry.
I was just going to throw in like on the topic of Starfield. I mean, just Starfield in particular, because the other games we don't know about, but like Starfield in particular, that in Game Pass or out of Game Pass is going to sell like crazy because of PC. Because Bethesda's on Steam, because Bethesda's main target, I mean, I love them. I play their games on console, but their main target is PC. And the PC dudes, like, as much as I enjoy Game Pass on PC, a lot of PC dudes don't like that stuff. They don't care for that. And they're like really tied to Steam. So it's like, I mean, and for Starfield in particular, once that comes out, tons of people on PC are gonna, I mean, I'll buy the disc on console, but tons of people on PC are gonna just buy that on Steam. They're not even gonna think about Game Pass. They're just gonna outright buy it.
Oh, I'm downloading it day one on PC with Game Pass.
Well,
so.
see, and that's the thing right there is that like, hitting on from what Loke said, from what Matt said, and I think and Sir X-Man said it as well. There was only one other time, and when I said, I don't know if you guys caught my video earlier today, but they were saying that there was one other time that where I bought a whole bunch of games, and that was during the PlayStation 2 era. But again, being ignorant to the hustle of and being finessed by GameStop, a lot of those games that I bought through the years and console, they got those, and I still can't hold on and cherish those things. And so now I have to go rebuy a lot of those consoles and games because of the fact of being finessed. But this last gen, I bought a lot of games. This already, just in the beginning of this gen, I've catching myself playing. Like last gen, I would not have spent money on Elden Ring. But because of the fact that I was just so like, man, this looks so like the type of game I want to play, I'm going to give it a shot. And I've done that with plenty other games because I know, like for instance, okay, so right before the show, I was playing a little bit of Sniper Elite 5. And so that's a game that I would buy, but I would wait for a sale. But since that's a game that's available on Game Pass, that lets me look in budget and look for other games like, on top of, because the Cowabunga collection is definitely a must get for me. But whatever that's on sale, like the Strangers from Paradise, the Final Fantasy game, that might make me say, oh, you know what, it's on sale right now. Let me go ahead and cop that too. So I see a lot of people within my ecosystem buy more games than they just like, well, no, everything I want to play is on Game Pass. So I think you're right. Like, nobody doesn't really know how it all going to play out at the end. But so far, from what every indication that we get it from not only developers, but just from Xbox themselves, is like it's rapid growth going on all around. So the music industry is not anything close to what the gaming market is.
It's not. It's not even really comparable.
That was a crazy comparison. Yeah, it's not even comparable. So
in terms of feasibility long term, there are entire sites dedicated to the abandonment of Microsoft projects. None of them have passed 2 years. People talk about Microsoft is pushing Game Pass because they have bottomless pockets, so they can eat the losses. Guys, if you look at the track record of this company, although they have all the money in the world, if they're losing money, they bounce. That's what Microsoft does.
Just like Google.
That is true. Yeah.
And they haven't left, guys.
It's been what?
We're missing the trick here.
It's been 6 years.
Almost 4 years.
Profiting. I think these guys are making money, and we're sleeping. We're not paying attention. I think maybe 5 years from now, some way, somehow, someone's going to make an expose, and we're going to figure out these dudes are not losing money. They're making money, and people are not figuring it out.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I mean, think about this. Sony was sitting back waiting. And if they know that Xbox is making money, that would make even more sense why Sony is doing what they're doing. So by adding a service. So it is.
And the thing to add to that, K Mega, is Sony isn't just doing it; they're scrambling to do it.
Right.
The wrong direction.
They are scrambling just to get
DC.
And like I'm not
universe to Xbox's Marvel universe.
I mean that's a cut right there.
I like that analogy, though.
That's a cut right there. But as I was saying, like, it's a scramble that they're trying to do, and they're really careful right now with trying not to be too much of a cut and copy of Xbox, and I feel like that's partially because they're still kind of, I'd almost say like motivating Xbox to do some. Like, you think you're tough. I see what you're doing, and it's pretty good. And you gave me a few ideas, but I ain't quite sweating yet. I kind of feel like that's where PlayStation kind of is. Whether that's true or not, like, I mean, I feel like we're like like us as the customers are like managers in the corner saying, "Bro, that left hook is coming. You need to watch out." And PlayStation's like, "Nah, I'm just gonna play my thing. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing." And like we keep saying, "Bro, that left hook is looking disgusting. I would, I'd duck if I was you." And they're like, "Nah, man,
you think Microsoft is about to do one of these? This is how you play your game with a friend,
dude."
Oh, they already did that.
Yeah. Oh, they already did that. Yeah, they already did that.
It's about to be worse.
Yeah. I mean, it's already happening that way.
I know.
Well, before we get on to the next topic, I do also want to kind of add to that, though. PlayStation kind of gave the blueprint for Xbox to come at Sony the way that, I mean, this is kind of like the same way that the 360 hit Sony over the head, and Sony was like, okay, we're going to clap back. And so Xbox is clapping back now. And it's funny because I'm looking at all these PlayStation stands that go crazy about the Series S, which is a $300 console. They talk about it as though it's the Series X, but it's not even comparable, right?
Yeah.
But the Slim was the darling for PlayStation's growth. It wasn't the PlayStation Pro. The PlayStation Regular and the PlayStation Slim were juggernauts every Black Friday in the United States and all over the world. It was the most sold console. That's what the S is it's starting to become. And yeah, and so that's that thing where Sony is like, oh man, please, that little thing right there, and little man is constantly just hitting them punch him in the body.
I want to buy one for the other room. Shots. I might get me an S for the other room. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Man, look, if they go down in price to like $250 at the
or $200, Microsoft is evil like that. They just want people in the ecosystem, dude.
They want people on Game Pass. You're right. You're right.
Right.
They can do that.
Like that bundling that shit with KFC meals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't care.
So you're like they can go ahead. If they get nasty like that and drop the S to $200. Yeah, bro, that's going to give the Switch a run.
They're making multi-million dollars every month for Game Pass. Multi-million. We're talking over 300 and something million every month.
They could drop that to 200 next year. Starfield releases, they drop it to 200. You put a picture of Starfield on the box for the Series S, and you drop it to 200.
And a Starfield custom console.
Oh my goodness!
What is this? An Xbox marketing?
And when they clear,
you're absolutely right.
Let's be real. And then when they clear the air, have the rights to a Call of Duty custom console.
There you go.
Man. Yep, you're right. If they start doing that will sell off the rack. If they start doing custom Xbox One S consoles, oh my God.
But a lot of people, but a lot of people are sleeping on Overwatch when it comes out. Because for some reason, kids and teenagers just love Overwatch more than Call of Duty. They really do.
Oh, yeah, Overwatch is huge. Yeah, Overwatch.
They'll be like, Daddy, I want this Overwatch console. They don't care if it's an S or an X. They're going to want that console.
Yeah, that's going to be nuts.
Daddy paid $200 for that.
Did y'all see the Gucci Series X?
Yeah, I saw that. That shit was dope.
Isn't that like $5,000?
Yeah,
that's sexy,
it's nuts. It is sexy.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
The Jordan Xbox One X, I was like, man, I need that in my life. Why y'all tripping? Why y'all doing that with giveaways, man? Why are y'all doing this?
Yeah, let us have it.
But I know why now, because I didn't think that Xbox was. I thought the Xbox One X was going to be that entry into next gen, and then they were going to have something else come into its wake. But it was the S that came into it, and then so they was like, nah, the One X is got discontinued. So there really wasn't no reason to have custom consoles. But yeah,
They didn't do enough with that power, man.
I mean, people will get custom consoles for the Series X, but it just doesn't seem as attractive as that the S would be. The S would be an amazing a console to grab because it wouldn't be overly expensive, and you could just customize that little bastard to anything you want to, and that would sell off the racks. But I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, look how much that
Yeah,
furry Sonic the Hedgehog one the controllers.
Ew.
That thing is ugly, but that thing sold out everywhere. It sold out in a heartbeat. It was gone. I didn't like it, but I'm just giving you an example. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People bought it.
Can we end the Xbox marketing meeting, guys?
Yes. We got, but Ham Solo, I think,
who's taking minutes? Someone needs to send this email to Phil Spencer.
Yeah, send it, please.
Phil Spencer watches all of the Xbox podcast shows, dude. He does.
He does. He watches them all, but he watches. I would say his staff watches. Not so much him. He's a busy man. He might listen to a couple, but he ain't.
He's only human.
Right. He got wife. He got kids. He got
and he's actually a gamer too.
So, and he plays games, so he ain't got time to be listening to all that bullshit going on. But anyway, what was you going to say, Ham Solo, before we move on to the next topic?
I was going to ask. I mean, I feel like I know the answer to this, but I want you guys to tell me what you think. if you've seen, or if PlayStation's seen the way the Series X is doing now, do you think that the Series S?
Okay.
Did I say X?
Yeah, you said that. Well, yeah, don't worry about it.
We know.
All right, so the Series S. Yeah. If PlayStation's seen how the Series S is doing now, do you think that they would have made their own console to that? Or do you think that they'd stay stubborn the way that they are and just have...
I don't know if they could afford it because of the chip shortage situation. That was the one big problem that they had. They didn't want, because they're losing.
Well, minus that
situation,
5. Minus the chip shortage thing. I'm strictly saying, you see how the S is doing $200 less than the X, and it's still gaining some sort of traction. The availability is up high. Do you think PlayStation would have taken that same strategy if they would have knew that the Series S would blow up the way that it
Can I go
is?
first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
I think PlayStation and Microsoft are different in terms of mentality when it comes compared to Nintendo. My example is because of how the generation cycles have been between these two. The Xbox One, the first Xbox came out, the PS2 trounced it. What happens? When the next generation comes out, which is the PS3 and the 360 comes out, their attitudes change. PS has got, they fart and their fart smells like roses, so they're arrogant. So they design their console in an arrogant manner. They price their console in an arrogant manner. Mm-hmm. They even develop their games in an arrogant manner. And then the PS3 turns into whatever the hell that was. The Xbox, because they were humbled by the previous generation, came out with the 360, and they're out there doing the charm offensive, getting third-party partnerships, etc., etc. Next thing, the 360's got a whole bunch of awesome games on it, and then that happens. So what happens the next generation? The positions change. PlayStation is humble because they almost lost the PS3 cycle. Don't let nobody lie to you. Sales-wise, PS3 won that generation. Obviously, in terms of optics, the 360 won. So the PS4 comes out, marvelous, and the One comes out, and Don Metric is telling you that if you don't have internet, there's an Xbox for you. It's just not this one. So what happens? the PS4 wins hands down. Next thing, the next generation happens. PS5 comes out. In my opinion, the PS5 is a direct reflection of the PS4's victory in the last generation.
I feel
Arrogance.
that.
We're feeling ourselves. People are gonna buy our shit regardless, whatever. Xbox, humble than a motherfucker, cheaper console, all types of services, desperate to get everybody happy. The worst thing that could happen for gaming, in my opinion, is if PlayStation continues the way they are throughout the PS5 cycle. Because I would contend that with the new leadership at Xbox, I don't think they will let up. If PlayStation lets them catch up this generation, I don't think Xbox will be feeling themselves in the next gen. And there's a risk that Microsoft goes to number one, like outright, even beats Nintendo. And I don't think we want that as a gaming community. I have nothing against Microsoft. I'm just saying every single market where Microsoft becomes number one, they strangle the opposition. And they're not even trying to play fair, they're just trying to kill it. Apple survived by some miracle and Steve Jobs was a genius, but everybody else is out. And gaming, if Microsoft goes to number one, they have the money and the ambition to just go for the neck.
They own the PC market, so I guess they want to try it on the gaming market.
Well, there's rumors out there, and and I'm from reputable people out there that has stated to me numerous times that Microsoft has got their eyes on Steam, and that relationship between Gabe and Microsoft is a lot smoother than a lot of people want to let on.
I told you on that years ago.
And it's like, I mean, I said this about almost a month ago. I think you heard that, Ham. When I said this, is basically that overall that if they get Steam, and then if Microsoft gets Steam, it's over. It's over. They don't have to acquire anything else. It's over. And people will
forget about it.
Yeah, it's over. Forget about it, because that's the only thing that's holding Microsoft back, is because their Windows store just it's not familiar. They don't like it. I mean, Windows Live was atrocious, and so so they're patiently waiting. And you're right. I don't know how it would feel if Microsoft was number one in everything, because like you said, they will stranglehold until Amazon or Apple will like, okay, it's time to get in the game. Sony, go ahead and let's go ahead and acquire you. Let's go ahead and buy all that. You know what I'm saying? So, and if people don't think that could be a reality, one arrogant slip up by PlayStation will make all that happen. And so, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with all that thought.
I actually think they'll make a joint venture. I don't think they'll.
I
don't think they'll buy Steam. I think it'll be a joint venture between Sony and Steam.
Gabe is old, bro. Gabe is going to retire.
But that doesn't mean that whoever takes over the reign won't just make it a joint venture between Microsoft. I want Steam to stay independent. I don't want them to buy it.
Somebody's going to buy Steam. Would you want to have Microsoft or Epic get Steam?
Oh, Epic's not going to buy Steam. Epic got their own. What? They got their own thing.
Come on, bro. Stop it. Okay. All right.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, man?
10 cents?
Yeah, 10 cents. Like, bro.
We know we don't want 10 cents to get it.
Well, that's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm saying. Like, when Gabe says it's over, it's over. Epic will go ahead and say, "Look, we'll swoop that up." You know what I'm saying? Like, with no problem. Tencent's going to say, "We'll swoop that up."
Yeah, because Fortnite made them all that damn money.
There would be probably an investor coming out of the blue that would come out, and like I said, and I know this is the longest topic ever, but like the other point, because we got into the weeds, but I said this about when Stadia, when Google was jumping into it, like, go ahead and try to get into the PC scene first, then venture out and try to get into the cloud, and then get into try to make a console and things like that. You're better off of trying to entice that crowd because who is it? Amazon who made Lost Ark? That's a bomb ass game. That game is fun as hell. I recommend anybody who plays on any PC give Lost Ark an opportunity. That game is.
What are you playing right there, bro? What is that game?
That's XCOM 2, the Unqualified. That's
really.
That's on that's on Xbox, PC.
That looks sick.
It's a like dope ass game. Like I said, I was working on that gameplay. But anyway, let's talk topic 2. An hour later.
It happens.
I know we got a lot of topics. We got 6 topics. We're gonna try to knock them out. We'll be a little bit quicker with this. I don't see that there's really too much to talk about the second topic, but TCL Technology Conference showed a new Series X and S and a PlayStation 5 Pro coming in 2023, 2024. Let's go straight to you, Ham Solo. What in the hell? Like, I mean, there's so much to pack in with this situation because of the fact that Xbox said that the Series X is powerful enough to where they don't even need to have a mid-gen console. The S, it would benefit them to have to add a mid-gen because of some of the deficiencies. But the PlayStation, though, I mean, like, it's already hard to find a PlayStation 5 right now. Like, I mean, how would that be difficult to get a PlayStation 5 Pro? And if this is true, which it was in the conference, so it sounds like it is, how much do you think these consoles will cost?
I'd say they'd probably come out like at first as like $600 or something like that as these consoles drop in price at some point. But my thing is like they said like between 2023 and 2024, if I'm right.
Yeah, it said 2023. Yeah, there would be I don't know if it said 2023, 2024. Now I don't know if they would come out or be announced in 2023 or 2024.
I feel like they would maybe be announced then, but I don't see something like that coming out for until at least 2025 because like this whole console shortage and stuff right now, I mean, I don't see that ending anytime soon, and the need for a refresh seems like so far-fetched right now. Like, I understand like last generation with the Xbox One and PS4, those came out already, you know, like underperforming.
2013.
You know, like those games were already under, you know, like they're underpowered. So that felt like it needed a console refresh. Take it, you know, a generation even before. A lot of those refreshes for like the PS3 and Xbox 360 was more or less them mitigating busted ass systems that they put out on the market.
Exactly.
So this time talking about a refresh, it just really doesn't sit right with me because all you heard from both of these companies was you get a PS5, that's all you need. This thing is stupid powerful. That cracking compression. And then from the Series X, it's like, oh, you got all them T-flops, right? You got it's the most powerful console out. And we're sitting here, you know, 2 years and almost 2 years into the generation, and we've really yet to be like in a situation where we get nervous for our consoles because it's like, man, this game is intense. Like, remember booting up Red Dead Redemption on your One X or One S or PS4.
Oh yeah.
Or remember getting into a heavy dense. Remember getting into a dense scene in Borderlands 3? Hell, man, I've had my Xbox One X cut off. That sucker
in Borderlands 3,
that sucker would just turn off, and then
be hot.
And I was sitting there like, damn, that game is that shit. Like I was just like, god damn. But like, I haven't seen anything on the PS5 or Series X or S where I'm just like, man, like that power got my room hot. Like, like I ain't have any of those situations. Maybe with Microsoft Flight Sim, I felt like that a little bit because that game's intense. But I haven't really felt that yet, really, like consistently. So until I start to feel like, man, like this thing is kind of slow or just not really getting after it, I'm not with this whole refresh idea. I think it's goofy. I think it's unnecessary. Kind of, I feel like it's almost disrespectful because it's like, hold on a second. Y'all told everybody to come out and get this thing. This thing is, the bee's knees. We're getting close to PC, yada, 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 even though that's kind of false. But like, why, advertise this hard if I'm going to have to get something else to run it better in just literally a few years when everybody isn't even easily able to go out and get this stuff? Like, it just doesn't make, like none of that makes any sense to me.
Okay. All right. So what do you think, Loke? Do you think that this is a possibility?
I'm split. I'm split because I'm with him. It doesn't sound right. But on the flip side, if y'all are willing to pay for it, I'm selling it.
That's fact.
It's like the number one rule of business. You have something, and motherfuckers are willing to scalp the crap out of it. Make no mistake, Sony is not really fussed about the fact that 60% of their sales went to scalpers. They're not worried. Did they make the sale? Yes. That is all. And even these new consoles or new versions, this refresh, it's also a way of them trying to help while also making a profit. Because then they're like, okay, the scalper market is flooded with base PS5s. Make us the PS5 Pro. The scalpers are gonna have to get rid of the PS5s at a cheaper price, and then we'll get more of those in the wild, and we're also guaranteed to sell a boatload of PS5 Pros because the scalpers are speculating that people are gonna buy.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me push back on that real quick.
All right.
You really think scalpers are gonna slow down because there's or sell it at a cheaper price just because the base? Because the next thing is out? I'm not sure if I agree with that because there's been 3060s, 3070s, 3080s, and 3090s, and there was there was no way that a scalper was like, you know what? There's this lesser version, but there's a better version. And I'm gonna make sure I sell that one way higher, and I'm a discount. I mean, to me, it's kind of the same thing, though, a little bit.
It's not.
Bro, the PS5, I don't feel like that price would change that much for a scalper.
Let me use my example. I'm using my example because of where I live. The PS5 was $1,400 with scalpers, and it's worse here because at least you guys have GameStops and all that stuff. We don't have any brick and mortar stores, so the only way to buy like a legit console, you have to travel to South Africa, which is from the capital city. We're talking about at least 400 kilometers, okay, and a COVID test, and a stay in a hotel, etc., etc. So people almost need scalpers in Mozambique. And still, we don't even have a PS5 Pro. The price is still dropping. Right now, we're talking about almost $700 right now. That's how much the PS5 is going for. at the moment. So for me, I'm not saying like the scalper rule is universal and scalpers in Mozambique are like scalpers all over the planet. But the general rule is demand and supply. When PlayStation 5, when PlayStation announces the PS5 Pro, everyone's eyes, in terms of every consumer, is going to be focused on the PS5 Pro. The same thing happens with iPhones as well around here. We don't have an iPhone store. As soon as the iPhone 15 comes out, the iPhone 14, the same iPhone 14 that was going for $1,000 yesterday, I'm not even talking about months apart, days. The one that was going for $1,000 yesterday is now $800. And in a month, it's going to be $700. And another month, it's going to be $500.
I just don't see it dropping, and I don't see it dropping unless the availability changes. Like if they drop PS5 Pro, Series X Pro, Series S Pro, all these Pro products, but the Series X and PS5 are still just as hard to find as it is now, I don't see those scalper prices really trending
down. The only
down.
reason they're hard to find is because of scalpers. If all the scalpers started selling the consoles that they're holding at a fair price, there would be no availability issues. There are enough consoles in the wild for everyone. Problem is that they're being sold at exorbitant prices, so people aren't buying them.
Right. No, he's right. I agree. And Tony Brown, our boy, he's out there in a hotel room, and he's not on his actual set at his home. So he's what 250 miles away? I forgot how far you said you were from where you were from last week. So his mic may sound a little bit off, but that's because he's in a hotel room. He's on his laptop, and so you got to bear with him. But he sounds clear enough. I mean, hell, my internet would have been probably shaking and baking. So if I'm 250 miles away, I'm probably in the border. I'm close to the border between Oklahoma and Texas, and that's rural country. So I don't know how that would come out and sound. So so bear with him. Michael Raymond said, I really want to play this game, man. This game was on sale on Xbox for $4.99. It's a backwards compatible title, XCOM 2, and it's on PC as well. So and I think it's even cheaper on PC. So it's a backwards compatible game. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. And it also has DLC. I think I've seen DLC for like 99 cents. So I need to pick that up because I haven't played the DLC yet. But okay, all right. So let's go ahead and go to Sir X-Man. Let's get your thoughts. What do you think, man? I mean, would you be? I mean, I know you just got a Series X, but do you believe this information? And how much do you think that this stuff would cost? I mean, would you?
It's going to be cheaper because the chip prices are going to be going down. They'll be more available.
You think that these pros for both consoles are going to be cheaper than the actual retail price of what's going on right now?
Yeah,
they're going to be more powerful.
Yeah, because I've seen it happen before.
They're going to be significantly more powerful than what we're
No,
talking about.
I don't think they're going to be more powerful. I think they're just going to be revamped versions.
No. It stated that they were going to be more powerful.
Okay.
Like
because the presentation, from what I saw, the presentation wasn't the pictures of the consoles. It was the expected performance in terms of frames per second. They're all going to be 8K, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not enough people have 8K. People are still trying to get into 4K. So that's too much of a leap. You just started this gen. That's a super big mistake.
No, and Sir X-Men, I gotta kind of push back on that statement though, because the issue with gaming for I feel like the last few generations is these consoles weren't ahead enough.
Agreed.
They were always a little under the underpowered or whatnot, or chasing power instead of having that power set already to where it's like, all right, well, these now you're kind of seeing it. You're seeing it with the PS5 and Series X right now, where they already have stuff implemented in it, and these TVs are catching up to it. And I feel like that's what they're trying to trend more for, so people don't feel like, I'm buying this thing, but it does, but it's not even able to produce as well as like a Roku.
So does that mean every single generation that we have, they're not going to everybody catch up? So every 2 to 3 years, you're going to see new generation of consoles. Is that what that means?
It might.
It could.
Well, then that's not good for the consumer. I'm sorry. You make us pay for these expensive consoles.
In a way, you're right, Sir X-Men.
And
you're
then
right.
you
not always good.
Before you get to tapping in like the Xbox One X, then you get to the point where you can't get that optimized to the highest level that it can before you move on. That's not the way it's supposed to be. It used to be when consoles got to the end of their life cycle because they couldn't push those graphics anymore, and they pushed these consoles out to the max. Then they came out with a new console. They're jumping the guns too early. These consoles, okay, I might admit, Sony might need a refresh on their PS5. No disrespect, but they might need a refresh on it, which is understandable.
They need a style refresh.
It's gonna be what
thing is too damn big, man. I'm not lying.
Probably why it didn't sell. That's probably why the S is taking over in Japan, because it's just too big. We had that discussion a couple of weeks ago. But you have not gotten to all the power that these consoles are supposed to have. Right now, you're up there pretty much with what PCs can do. And 4K. More people are just getting 4K. So you want to make a system that does 8K when that's not even really affordable in the market. They need to stop that. Wait until the 8K is adopted first. You waited long enough where 4K started to get adopted now. That's good. There are more 4K TVs in the market. Not everyone still has one, but they're cheaper, they're more affordable. So they can justify getting a brand new next-gen console that can play that at good frame rate. If you're going to make another console, make it smaller for the people. Make it more affordable for the people, because chip shortages will be over. The chips will start coming down. That'll make it easier for you to make it more affordable for people. Plus, you can get more of the consoles out there because it's more affordable and easier to manufacture. Don't just rush way ahead when nobody's ready, when they still don't have enough of these consoles that you have now. That's all I got to say on that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mean, everybody might disagree with me, but I'm sorry.
Well, let me get Matt's perspective of it. Hold on. Let Matt give his point, and then you can say what you want to say right after that, because Matt's been sitting here waiting patiently. So, Matt, what do you think, man? Are you with Sir X-Man on his stance on this, or are you with everybody else, or you have your own perspective on it?
My whole thing is, I don't even believe this is real.
Oh, it's real.
I feel, but yeah, no, I mean, I know they showed it, but my whole thing is, wouldn't they be breaking some sort of NDA by announcing that? I feel like this is AMD is speculating, okay, we'll get a next gen, or not next gen, a mid gen refresh without really knowing that we'll get a mid gen. I can't imagine that AMD could just have the power to come out and say, for Xbox or PlayStation, hey, you're getting new consoles in a few years, by the way. If it's true and we are getting new consoles in a few years, I think that's, I guess I'll be getting a new console in a few years. I mean, I'm not too, I think it's kind of lame if it's true, in the sense that we haven't seen what these consoles can do. We haven't even,
thank you.
We haven't even began to hit the peak of what the Series X or even the Series S. We haven't even began to hit the peak of what the Series S can do, or the PS5. Like, we're not going to hit that peak until probably like 2026, maybe 2027. It's like we're not like games aren't like I've played games on my One X that look better than some games I've played on my Series X. It's just like I don't think we're at that point yet where we need a mid-gen. I don't think we're even close to that point yet. I feel like if it's happening,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I feel like if it's happening, then I guess I'll be getting a new console. But I really don't see why it needs to happen, and I'm not entirely sure I believe that it is happening.
And here's another point real quick. I just thought about, you still got games in development right now. So you make these people want to, okay, now we got to redo this game to work with the newer consoles. So we got to go back to the drawing board again. When you still got games being delayed, getting ready for the newer consoles. That's going to slow those games down so much, it's unreal. So you're going to be, instead of waiting, how many years for a game? Now you got to wait more years because they need to optimize it for the newer consoles and the previous console.
Yeah.
That's not how it works, though.
That's how it's been working.
I put up a poll on Twitter, and a developer responded to me talking about they work with sliders, and that's how they make games that work on PC on like super ultra max graphics, but they also work on the Xbox One. So actually, let me quote it. I just found it. It says here, devs have been working with a sliding tier of hardware performance for decades on the PC, and seeing as the consoles are just PC hardware in a single chip design, there should be no issues support current and previous gens. I think it's Russian or something. Even Unreal Engine 5 supports GPUs as far back as 2015.
Okay, that may be true, but there are some games that are still cross-gen. So now and a lot of people can't find the newer consoles. Now they can on the Xbox side, but they can't find the newer consoles on the PlayStation side. That's why Sony was trying to go just regular everything on PS5. And so now you're making more consoles that can't work with the previous gen because these developers aren't going to go that far back. If you're making new consoles, they're going to go to the previous consoles because then that would be extra work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get it, but okay. So this is going to be my pushback on this. I was, and somebody in the chat said the same thing. Phil made that promise, if you remember, where he was like, "Look, we're always going to stay ahead of our competition of having the most powerful console."
Yeah.
And if PlayStation comes out with a Pro, which most likely I think everybody on the panel believes that PlayStation will, and it will be comparable to the X or slightly more powerful. They don't have to have it to be like supremely powerful. All they got to do is get it somewhat more powerful than the Series X, and there you go. PlayStation can tout saying having the most powerful console, and Xbox ain't going to have it. I just don't think that they're going to relinquish that anymore. So
the next one, they better have an external hard drive they can plug in instead of making people.
I also wanted to say something. I want to say something about Mr. X's point, bro. Again, I'm repeating myself, but it's the truth. As long as people are willing to buy these consoles, they will make a new console every year. As long as the numbers keep telling them that, if you produce 5 million consoles this year, and there's a good chance you will sell 4.5 million consoles, they're going to make them because people are buying them.
Right.
So until people stop buying these consoles, whether it's scalpers, whether it's actual gamers, they're going to keep making the consoles. It's not as far-fetched as you might think.
It's like Madden, damn it.
Well, just look at no. It's like It's like
mesh, dude.
It's like cell phones. That's exactly what this is. And if you remember, there was a lot of reports And Michael Pachter was one of them back then in the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 generation, where he said that, and a whole bunch of other journalists said the same thing. Now that didn't happen but normally a lot of news that we get, some of that stuff is later down the line, but that makes sense because if you also remember that there was a point last gen where there was an interview with Phil where he had ideas on finding ways to upgrade the consoles. And I don't know if you guys remember.
That was like 10, 11 years ago. I remember that.
No, that was not 10, 11 years ago. That was
somewhere around there.
That was late last year, like 2017, where they were talking about taking out a component from the back of the console, and like a graphics card, like you would a PC, and then buying a peripheral and put it in that way. We don't know what this is, how this is going to come out, what
good old 32X.
Right. Like, I mean, listen.
One of them. I love the 32X.
But Loke is absolutely right. Like, how many on it? I mean, we already got Matt coming out and saying, and listen, I'm all in. They say an Xbox Series X Pro. I'm going to try, and let's say if the rebate is, I mean, not the rebate, but the trade in is like $350, $400, and let's say it's $600. Yo, I'm on it. It's mine.
Yeah,
I'm popping. So
exactly.
Yeah. So and everybody, and I think everybody, and Sir X-Man, I think you would even, well, maybe not, but
it depends on how I feel of the situation.
Right, but I know that if they say that they have a $350 version of a 1S Pro with all the bells and whistles that people thought that the S should have had already at the gate, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And then you also have people are going to buy it. PlayStation, we know that people are going to buy that because they're still trying to find ways to get the PlayStation. And I do feel that scalpers will go down on the regular PlayStations because they're like, the hot commodity is going to be the PlayStation Pro. So then they'll even probably charge more, but then give you a lesser, drop off of maybe $150 off of the price that they've been asking for the PlayStation regular. So
I just don't want that situation like me and you had with Mortal Kombat where I couldn't play no more because they upgraded it with the X.
I think that is over with. I think after we get done with everything last gen, I think that it's going to be a lot more. I think it'll be a lot more accessible with how we play our games because like you said, the technology hasn't even been fully tapped on the PlayStation 5 or the Series X. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Hell, the technology ain't really been tapped all the way through the S as much as, some people will try to tell you that it's this and that, but
that's a powerful little system.
It's a powerful little ass system. So, I mean, people was over here trying to give me a hard time saying that, well, Halo Infinite runs 580p resolution, but the damn thing.
No, it don't.
Well, no. But they said that it dipped down to that resolution. But what they don't say is that's pushing 120 frames. Like, you're talking about a console that is the same price as a Nintendo Switch pushing 120 frames. That's very impressive. So, okay. But that's my whole point. I think it's very interesting, but let's go ahead and move on. Let's see. Okay. Pretty funny. And I can't wait to hear what you guys think about this. So Xbox turns down acquiring Spider-Man / Marvel and the KOTOR remake. If you guys have not heard, there was a book out that's talking about the history of video games and about the video game industry. And this news comes out about Sony wanted to get away. I'm not Sony, I'm sorry. The person that got in charge of Marvel games pretty much wanted to break away from Activision. Activision said, okay, go ahead. Let's see if you find a suitor. And pretty much what happened was that Activision was like, yeah, go ahead, whatever, because they didn't want to spend the money for a quality title. So then they went to Microsoft.
They said Spider-Man was dead.
Right, like they're like, yeah, good luck on trying to, good luck. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna give you no money for no damn Spider-Man game. And so they went to Microsoft first, and Microsoft declined. They went to Sony, and Sony was like, hell yeah, we with it. And then of course the rest is history because Insomniac was like super hyped on wanting to develop for that game. Now, I got my thoughts about it. I'll be quick on it because I'll be real quick on it, and then I'm going to go to back to Matt on this one. I think in hindsight, did Xbox get the L now? Yeah, but overall, looking at it from a perspective of back then, Spider-Man games wasn't selling like that. Like Spider-Man, I think for all those years and all those Spider-Man games was coming out, I think they sold up to 30 million. And we're talking about going all the way back to the PlayStation.
I bought every Spider-Man,
to the first NES. So, yeah, no. And then who's to say at that point in time, if Microsoft did acquired them, who was going to be the studio that was going to work on that? Would it be would it be a second party? Would it be and then you know how bad the second party situation was with Microsoft during the Xbox One generation. Xbox was in a bad state, bad press, bad this. Let's say that they got a good studio to work. Let's say that they had the Coalition work on it. And Coalition, I think a lot of people could give faith for Coalition. And the game was great. The game was cool for Xbox gamers, but let's just say that because of the bad media press and everything, it came out to be an average game. Nobody ain't going to be talking about that Spider-Man. So, it's all hindsight. So, Matt, give me your whole perspective on this. What do you think? And which one to you? What in both situations, the KOTOR remake situation and this whole Marvel Spider-Man thing? Let it all out. Let me know what you think.
Okay, I think for Spider-Man or like anything Marvel in general, it's like who makes, like back then, like you just said, who makes a Spider-Man game for Xbox? Because the reason Microsoft gave them was they wanted to focus on their own IP, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like that's what they did. That generation, we got a lot of Gears, we got a lot of Halo, we got a lot of Forza. So it's like, who's making what? Because they had 4 or 5 studios at the time, maybe. I think. So
yeah, it's a little bit more than that, but not that many. Yeah,
it's not a lot 7, of
but whatever.
Yeah, it's not a lot, and it's just like outside of the Coalition, I don't know who does anything Spider-Man related. And like you also said, it's like the bad press that Xbox was getting during that generation, even if the game played fantastic and was great, it had a great story, it wouldn't really hit the same way it did on PlayStation because PlayStation, quite frankly, was just in a better spot last generation. They got better press. It is what it is. So I think in hindsight, I guess, it would have been cool to see Spider-Man on Xbox. I would love to have Spider-Man on Xbox right now, but it's at the same time, how would you have done it? Like, you would have had to have given it off to, honestly, you could have probably given it to Insomniac before they got bought and said, hey, instead of Sunset Overdrive, why don't you make Spider-Man? Like, maybe that could have happened for Xbox. I have no idea, but it's like, I don't know who first party makes that game for them. And as far as KOTOR, I guess that's a little weird. I think it's a little weird that you wouldn't want the remake, considering it was such a big hit for your first console that you guys ever made. But at the same time, maybe they had some insights on it's not exactly this. It's not exactly or at all the same team that worked on the original KOTOR. So it's like maybe they just saw that and were like, we'll pass, which I understand. And I'll still check it out on PlayStation, but I kind of understand that them passing on both of these things, like in my honest opinion.
Okay, all right. What about you, Loke? What's your thoughts? This
I have a long take on this one,
Go
so
ahead.
bear with me.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Take your time, bro.
Bear with me. It's very simple, but complicated at the same time. So there's a game that's dominating Steam right now. Early access. It's an RTS game. The game does nothing special, but the reason it's getting so much attention because it's got the Dune IP behind it. It's based on Dune. So people are jumping in because of Dune. My take on this Spider-Man thing is that Xbox took a big L on this one. Someone needs to pay, or maybe this person has already left Xbox when Spider-Man.
He said somebody needs to pay.
For real. No, I'm not even saying this because I'm a fan of Xbox. I'm saying it as a professional. Okay. When Spider-Man launched, someone at Microsoft should have sat down and said, okay, who signed off on telling Marvel to go fuck off? Who in this motherfucker did this? And I will explain why.
And then carry him off, huh?
So what happened? What happens is IP has value, dormant or not. That's why you see companies like Konami and Capcom sitting on IP, paying millions of dollars just to renew the right to own that IP that they haven't used in 10 years. Okay? Spider-Man, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, in my opinion, Spider-Man is the third most famous superhero in the world right now, or even the last 20 years. Okay, you've got Superman, you've got Batman, and then you've got Spider-Man. Those three, you can go anywhere you want to go. Just you don't even have to draw like their full appearance. Just put a guy in blue with an S on his chest and a red cape. Everybody knows who the fuck he is. Put a guy with a black cape, all black with white eyes. Everybody knows who he is.
And to match his flaws.
No, Wolverine is not iconic. I'm sorry. In the US, he is.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not arguing your reality. I'm talking about the planet, bruv. I'm saying you can go to Somalia in some random camp and just draw like a rudimentary drawing of Superman. The kids will know who he is. Batman, same thing. Spider-Man, same thing. No one's gonna know who Wolverine is. I love Logan. I really love Weapon X, but he's not there. I'm sorry.
You're talking about worldview. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, so Spider-Man's in that group, okay? Matt, it does not matter who was going to make Spider-Man. The executive at Xbox should have realized that this IP, even if we take it just to pawn it off to someone else and then they make a mid-game, even if it was to do that, it would be worth whatever millions Marvel wanted. Just to not let it fall into the hands of the studio or the publisher that tells riveting stories. If Spider-Man had gone to freaking Nintendo, it would be fine. No one is shedding a tear over stories being told at Nintendo. Okay? You let it go to Sony, you idiots. In my opinion, that's what should have happened. Even if Microsoft were not going to make a loss, the crow that they have to eat now every single day that Spider-Man is associated with PlayStation is so much more than whatever money they would have had to spend with acquiring the IP. KOTOR, same shit. It's not as iconic as Spider-Man, but in terms of hardcore video game circles, it is the holy grail. And the fact that the first KOTOR was on the Xbox the original Xbox as an exclusive. Dude, this is the only thing worse would be if Halo was to go on PlayStation. That's the only thing I can think of because people associate KOTOR with the original Xbox, and someone was like, "Yo, that legacy game that people till today people are still talking about KOTOR. Yeah, screw that. We don't need that. Let's focus on our IP." The fact that someone made that evaluation is a travesty. So anyone trying to downplay this like it's nothing, it doesn't understand the correlation between history and how the foundations, the pillars that are placed in the history of a company and the fan base affect tomorrow. So for me, these are two humongous L's that Xbox has to sit with.
That man said
betrayal.
That's what he said. And that's what that man said. God damn. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go to him solo. What do you think, man? Do you agree? Is this a big fat L? Did somebody from Microsoft needed to grab somebody and say, "You're fired"? Yeah, and carry his ass out, send him his paperwork, give him his last check. Is that what needs to happen, or do you have a different other perspective on this situation?
This situation ain't shit, and Loke, you ain't shit either. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, for real though. Like on a real note, bro. Like you go to game stores nowadays, right? Take a kid to a game store. I mean, hell, I got a daughter, right? She ain't into superheroes like that. She knows who Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
When you take a kid to a game store, and let's say you can't even afford like a new console. You can't even afford a Series S. You go out and get like a PlayStation 2 for $80. You take somebody to that retro game store. What's one game that you'll probably run into? A Spider-Man of some sort.
Or Batman.
Or yeah. And people are superhero fans just by nature. People like seeing people get saved, or they like at least the villains in the
States. In the States, Wolverine will get some love too.
Quit trying to save Wolverine. It is what it is, bro.
Oh yeah, bro. Wolverine is huge in the States now. I don't know worldwide.
Oh man, y'all so salty about Wolverine, man. Y'all just need to chill.
Goddamn right. You know what I'm saying, Logan?
Wolverine, I've seen him take some L's. I've seen him take some pretty heartbreaking L's.
He has, but you know what I'm saying. But he also beats a lot of ass. That's one of the dudes that beat Hulk.
I ain't gonna lie, dude, Wolverine's dope. Dope. But yeah, in this conversation, everybody knows, Spider-Man. You see that on PlayStation 2. You've seen it in all these generations. And then something like this just falls in your lap. And you say, "Excuse me." You say, "Oh, no, you can go by. I'm good." That's just wild to me. That's just the way that some seem to brush it off is as if it's like a, I don't know, Pitfall from Activision or something like that. It's not like just some game that was made. Like Spider-Man has crazy history and within games, within people's hearts. I mean, Marvel is something to watch every time. I mean, even the movies back then, like you can't pretend there wasn't Spider-Man movies around this time of this deal. You know, there's always been a run on Spider-Man of some sort. So why would you just disposition yourself and say, you know what, we're good? How are you that good? You're too good for Spider-Man?
Then you cancel Scalebound.
You know, I mean, it's just.
Oh, come on now! Don't do that. Don't get messy on here.
He's getting extra messy.
Don't do that. Don't get messy.
Man is throwing some shade right now.
Don't get messy.
I know,
don't
right?
He's
throwing. Oh man, he is throwing mud.
Don't do that.
But I'm just being obvious. I feel like this is obvious. Like how do you do something like this? But at the same time, you know. As of right now, I kind of feel what Matt kind of feels like at the end of the day, where it's just kind of like, you know what, the deal has been done. This is years ago. Yeah. So like if I were to
2014,
if I were to like
in charge then, so you know who was in charge, right?
Right.
Yeah, Mercer.
But if I were to run to Facebook or Twitter or whatever, Instagram, whatever, and complain about this, I feel like I'm way too many years too late.
Yep.
So like to even so to be disappointed, very valid. But to be mad, no, this is too far away and so. Like I'm so far attached from this situation that I can be mad looking at it and be like, what the fuck? But at the same time be like, well, you know, I mean, it looks like they're fine.
Yeah. And I want to be clear. I'm not, because it is an L. It is an L. But at the same time, me personally, I don't care because we got Spider-Man. I mean, I played it. It's on PS5. I played it. Like I can still play the game. We still got a great game. It's just not on Xbox. Sucks, but we still got the great game. So I'm not that invested in it. And KOTOR wasn't really my thing back in the day. I didn't get into it like a lot of people did. So I mean, I'll try the remake. Maybe I end up loving it. And hey, but it wasn't my thing. So I'm not super invested in it. It's an L, but I just can't get too mad about it.
Sir X-Man.
Yeah. I didn't even say anything. I didn't even say anything about the KOTOR thing.
Go ahead about the KOTOR thing. Yeah, because I'm waiting until
the KOTOR thing. I'm not near as like the Spider-Man thing. I'm like surprised about that. The Star Wars thing, I'm not that surprised about because for years on end of Star Wars being in gaming, they have been so random with what they pick to put on what console and whatnot. So like, does it suck hearing now that Xbox could have held on to that? Sure. But if I wouldn't have heard of that, I wouldn't have been surprised because, you know, remember like there was some Star Wars games that came out for GameCube that didn't come out nowhere else. You know, there's there's this game. You don't have that on any Nintendo console now. Is that right? This Jedi Fallen Order?
Oh yeah, that's not on it. I think you can't you stream it or something? I don't know what they're doing. Can Nintendo
even run third person?
It couldn't run that natively. It would
you know, so I mean, what I'm saying is it's just like you've had Star Wars all over the place. Spider-Man, you could sure say that same thing, I guess, too. But like, as for needed, fun, very relatable IP, Spider-Man blows them out of the water because there's not just one character that you pay attention to in Star Wars. It can go all over the place. But with Spider-Man, it's like no matter how many different Spider-Mans you use, you feel the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In Star Wars, you don't feel the same way in a lot of the different games.
We're gonna let Sir X-Man have to say, but I have to push back. I think what you just said was gaming sacrilegious. KOTOR is one of the best games I've ever played in my life.
Close.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
It's not for me, though.
there's no. I mean, that game, that Jade Empire, like those games were synonymous to Halo, Jade Empire, KOTOR, and maybe something else. You know what I'm saying, that you can add on to the OG Xbox. But those 4 games were like everything. Maybe
And
Oblivion, and
Mechasalt
Mechasalt.
also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything to an Xbox fan. So that to me was the biggest L. Spider-Man, I'm opposite on that, which is crazy. Like, I mean, I love the discussion though, because that to me is where it's like, I mean, Spider-Man has been around forever. But again, Xbox get an L in something. It's just according to which L do you think, Spider-Man or KOTOR? I mean,
which L is it this
which
week,
L is it?
K-Mega?
Yeah. Everybody's gonna get an L. They gotta get an L. For me, they gonna get that L for KOTOR.
And then you guys make me out to be the funky one. Dang.
Yeah. No, Xbox get that L for KOTOR. I don't understand. That was
Mr. X, I'm sorry. I wanna give my last piece on this one before Mr. X jumps in. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Mr. X.
It's cool, man. It's cool. Go for it.
Dude, I want to push back on Ham and Metal X James. I don't think you all understood me. I'm not disturbed by this gigantic L by Xbox because of my emotions. This is not an emotional. This is not an emotional rage. This is not an emotional rage. This is a professional rage. That's why I spoke about professional, because I truly believe that this can be quantified as professional negligence on the part of whoever the fuck signed off on whatever, or on screw KOTOR or screw Spider-Man. I would have said the same thing if Nintendo did that. I would have said the same thing if PlayStation did that. What's really baking my tits right now is that someone that's qualified sat down, evaluated these IPs, and said, yeah, let these go out into the wild. For me, that's what's infuriating. It's not that Xbox did it; it's that someone decided that made sense. That's my pushback on both of you guys. This is not an emotional thing because Xbox is this, Xbox is that. No, this is pushback on, this is dumb. Why did you do this?
Get that?
Yeah,
I mean,
it was the person that was charged, man. I mean, like he was about to let Xbox go away. Merson he didn't give 2 shits. Matter of fact, it blows my mind, like how close Xbox was from being out of there, man. You know what I'm saying? So, it was, and it's also a surprise. They were going to Merson was going to let Halo go if it went for Bonnie Ross and Phil. Bonnie Ross was leading the charge to save Halo because Gearbox was going to buy Halo from Xbox. They were going to let that happen. Can you imagine? Could you imagine? Like, I mean, so yeah, no, like, I mean, management is very, very important when it comes to these companies, man. Like, it's very important.
That's probably why they fired his ass, because of that shit.
Well, yeah, because he cared about Windows more. Yeah, he cared about. Well, no, it wasn't Matt. That was Morrison. It was Terry Morrison. And Don Matrick was already out the door at the end of.
No, he was there in 2014.
No, he was gone. He got out of there. He was out.
Phil wasn't there in 2014.
I know Phil wasn't there, but I'm saying, Donnie was out of there at the end of the 360. He said what he had to say. He was gone because he knew he had his job.
When he said that, I think the timer on his life in Microsoft was like beeping. And he's like, if you don't have internet,
yes,
we have a console for you. Oh my God, I think
And
that's
TV,
Yeah.
TV,
Bill
TV,
Gates is like,
TV. Yeah.
He was gone as soon as he
I,
said that.
Yeah,
I think Bill
he was
Gates
already
is
out the
like,
door.
what?
Are y'all ready
What
now?
did you just say?
Are y'all ready?
Well, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
How are you gonna give up a game that won Game of the Year for your console, got pretty much perfect 10s across the board? Game of the Year by every magazine that year, every show that was on G4, every award that was there, that was the pride of your console at the time, and then you didn't pick it up for the remake.
I'll answer that question. Let me answer that question for you before you go any further.
Stupidity.
Sir X-Men, let me answer that question.
I'm mad about that, bro.
No, I got it. I'm gonna let you finish, but I have to answer that question. Was because the team that originally worked on that game, all of those people weren't working on. Only a few people that worked on KOTOR joined that new studio in Texas, Asper, and they were afraid, like, I don't think that they're gonna, because they were new, and they were like,
my point remains, bruv. I'm sorry, I have to cut you off. My point remains. The value of the IP is too high for you to let it go into someone else's hands. Even if we are going to develop it, it's
I
going to
agree
be
with
hit.
but I'm just explaining that. I'm explaining their reason.
I know about all that, but they gave you the opportunity to pick it up.
Yes, they did.
And you did
take it.
Grab it. The game that helped your console at the time, which was just small in the market, propel itself. Because I remember people getting an Xbox back then, to play it. This game was right after Halo 1. And it won all the accolades you could ever imagine for a game. And you did not pick it up. That's stupid. That's ignorant. That's not thinking about what your fans want. And you hear Xbox people screaming for a remake for it, even before backwards compatibility. And you didn't grab it. So I just still feel it's just stupid and a big mistake that's going to backfire on them. Now, I know we're supposed to get a time release on it from what I hear. But
I think so.
But people will buy it. I'll buy it when it comes out because I like KOTOR. But
the time release could be 7 years.
Thank you.
Right. Like, I mean, Sony can sit there and pull the move and say, look, we're going to pay another 3 years for this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, Sony now.
Y'all can have it when the PS6 comes out.
Right. Like,
look at Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but if they do a move like that, Microsoft, by that time, you're not going to give it to us in the time we already have Activision now. We can say, and your contract is up with the rights. We don't have to give you Call of Duty. I don't think Sony wants to pull that card. I really don't.
I think Microsoft would actually take Call of Duty exclusive.
Oh, yeah, if they pull that track. But
I think so.
on the other thing, it was too long ago when those contracts and that discussion was. It was 2014. They didn't do it. They missed the mark. They were going through a whole bunch of drama at the time with their console release and stuff like that. So it's acceptable. Sony dropped the ball on it. They jumped on it. It is what it was. Can't do nothing about it now. But if there is another renegotiation somewhere down the line to have the Marvel join with some Xbox, if it ever comes up again, this time you take it. You don't back down on it. You take it and start putting some Marvel games on your system. It's too late. The damage has already been done on that. And that's pretty much all I got to say on that. I'm done. You can take it away, K-Mega.
All right. Yeah, no, I just think that it's that was the biggest L for me was KOTOR.
Yes, sir. You're right. You are right.
I Spider-Man, I don't care. I mean, like I got both of the Spider-Mans. I can't get through them. I think they're good games. I understand how people appreciate them and like them. And I do, and their names are, and the Spider-Man name is synonymous across the world. So yes, that was a missed opportunity. I'm not tripping about that whatsoever. But the one point that I said earlier was that it was about the studio. Who was going to be the studio Xbox was going to have work on a Spider-Man exclusive title? And then of course they could definitely do a Wolverine, but like I didn't even know this, but just like what Loc was saying was that look, I mean Wolverine is cool in the US and maybe in the US, but it ain't popping out here in Africa. It ain't popping in the East. You know what I'm saying? So basically what you got to do is probably go somewhere else, and then that's when you get caught up into another situation. And one more factor too that I don't think that nobody didn't address was that this was still owned by Disney, or well, not at Disney at the time, but
it was Marvel at the time.
It was Marvel at the time, but Disney, I believe, was in those talks and discussions of trying to pick up Marvel. So then just think about what that mess would have been about. So they seen that probably coming down the line and was like, man, we don't want to touch that, because the truth of the matter is that Disney's going to get their money up front. Then whatever crumbs is left, you can go ahead and have it. But case in point, that's what Square Enix said, look, you're out of here. Adios. You're gone. You're gone. You're out of here. We're selling you for pennies. We Group, you go ahead and get that. So I don't know. It's just it's so many factors and things like that, but I think that Spider-Man went to the right place. I mean, sometimes Xbox can't win everything.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, I 100% still think that Spider-Man is. I mean, it's just the situation at hand is just kind of like, damn. But I'm 100% with where it fell and how it played out, and
perfect home.
Spider-Man 2, can't wait for it.
Oh yeah, no, Spider-Man's in a perfect home. I think it's probably best for Spider-Man to be where it's at, just because of the fact that Sony owns the picture rights, so the movie rights, and Disney owns the game rights. But still, the fact of it is that look, it's a perfect marriage. Everything is working out the proper way.
Lastly on this one.
On PC. Mm-hmm.
Lastly on this one, just in case y'all didn't know I was salty about this one. Lastly, this is the equivalent of again Metal Gear Solid being an Xbox exclusive in 2025. And then we find out PlayStation had a chance to get it.
Well, I mean, look, Sony did drop the ball themselves in the movie situation, because Marvel Studios went to Sony for them to asked them to be acquired, and Sony rejected it. So hindsight, but let's just look at this, the same type of situation. Would you trust Sony making Marvel movies? Because I mean, the Venom movies, I'm not digging. I haven't even seen Venom 2 because Venom 1, the Amazing Spider-Man, a lot of people didn't like the Amazing Spider-Man. So Deadshot, Morbius, they're mixed. Like there's not
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I mean, we just don't know how it all played out.
That's why I keep pushing back on the fan aspect of it. I don't mind the fan aspect. You guys are right. Spider-Man is probably in the best place right now.
Yes.
I'm talking about due diligence. If I worked at Sony and then I had a chance to buy Iron Man, Captain America, and all these other guys, I would have bought them, regardless of whether we're going to do a good job with them or not. It's just good business to buy them. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, no, you're right. No, you are right. Like, I mean, I think if we were all in charge and they were offering us something like that, we probably would all say, yeah, hell yeah, I'm on it. Let's go. So, I mean, but who knows? I don't know. But let's move on. We're going to save one of these topics for next week. And I think our biggest topic is going to be talking about Kate Sanchez. So I'll leave that for last because I think everybody's going to have a point to bring up. So let's just go ahead and talk about this the situation with the first party titles going to going to PC. There was a lot of information that came out even after I made the topics. Like, damn, Jim Ryan get out there and start dancing like Gregory Hines, man. Sony got that man saying all types of shit. They got him dancing, tap toe, like 1 minute he's saying, generations matter. Then it's like, well, the PlayStation 4. Then the next minute they got this man saying, the SSDs for these games are that's why they can only work on these SSDs. And now all of these games are supposed to be going. There's Steam reports going out there saying Returnal's coming out there. The Uncharted collection is going to be dropping. Just all the PlayStation's games are pretty much going to go. The only 2 games that we haven't heard yet was The Last of Us 2 and The Last of Us and what's the other game I'm trying to think of? Damn it, I can't think of the other game right now. But there's only 2-3 games that's not Spider-Man. So I mean, I'm gonna go back to you on this one. I'm gonna go on you, Sir X Man. What does this mean? Like, I mean, from a fanboy perspective, is this now? Is it to say that PlayStation don't have no games? I mean, what's happening here, man?
Hey, I had a quick phone call. So
Okay.
could you repeat what the thing is real quick?
Sorry no, it's about PlayStation. It's about PlayStation. Pretty much succumbing to the throat needle and saying that their games are going to go to PC. It's already been leaked out for the list of games that's going to be coming out. Pretty much the leak that people got that this one insider got just absolutely crucified for comes out to be right. Jim Ryan comes out today and basically says, "Look, we're thinking about investing more. We're going to be investing more in PC." The console isn't pretty much the thing that is the focal point. We're going to just kind of spread up games as a service, all of that. So, PlayStation games on PC. How big?
Oh, that means I ain't got to buy a PlayStation.
Let's go. All right. So,
because I'm getting God of War next week, so I'm good.
All right. Okay. Good. Okay. Right there to the point. He just said it. All right. So that's it. Okay. So Ham Solo. What about you, man? I mean, what do you think? How you feel about it? He's speechless.
What's that?
The man is speechless. Oh, talk about the PC games on PC. I mean, PlayStation games going on PC. Like, I mean, this is pretty much like confirmed. What is your thoughts about this, man? Like, I mean, well, and will games go day and date eventually?
Oh, of course.
On the PC. Okay.
Oh, of course. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, they might be slow to roll it out because I it's kind of like what I said about Xbox. They've built a stigma for themselves. PlayStation is we all kind of know it on this podcast, and everybody, even the fanboys, know it. Like they're cocky. They are cocky with what they're gonna do. So they won't show like if they fell off a bike, and scraped up their leg, they're gonna walk as if nothing happened.
Yep.
They're gonna walk as if nothing happened, and you, and I'm not saying like you guys in particular, like on the panel or listening or anything, but most people will just be like, yeah, they're fine. No, that wasn't a big deal, because they are who they are. So they're gonna roll it out. They're looking at it. They're measuring it. They're 100% measuring it right now. They're in the lab cooking. They're wondering if this is necessary right now or not. But it's gonna happen, is what I'm saying. Whether they think it's a good idea to roll it out full blown tomorrow, a year, 2 years, next generation, it's happening at some point, because it's just business. I mean, just like Loco was talking about in the last conversation, where it's like, yeah, take your emotions out of it. Yeah, take your emotions out of this one too.
It's
while
no
you're at it.
Than PC games
right.
used to come to consoles. It's no different.
It just is what it is. Like people are saying, hey, the subscription service is gonna do this and that and a third to gaming. It might, but the fact of the matter is it ain't going nowhere. It's gonna get bigger, and you're not gonna like it. If you're mad right now, wait a couple of years.
Oh
yeah.
If you are mad right now, you are about to have a heart attack.
Man, 500 and 600 series cards are going to be out by AMD by then. Yeah.
Oh! If you think gaming is affordable now, you wait until you wait until the PS5 is just old news.
Oh,
once the PS5 is old news and you're able just to get it for a couple $100, imagine what's going to be out to play and avenues to play games. Could you imagine? I mean, let's talk about the hype that we are for Hellblade. What happens when that game's 5 years removed and that's nothing anymore?
Yeah.
You can.
I mean, and you're going to be getting games that are way better than Hellblade in a few years or whatnot, and they're going to be on a subscription service. So everybody wants to clamor and tell people how these big businesses are doing their finances. Y'all need to sit y'all asses down and remember that 10 years ago when we were sitting down, playing, the 360 at the end of its generation, there was no way in hell that we really imagined all this stuff that we can do with these consoles now, where we're sitting 2-3 minutes on a load screen to now we're playing that same game
instantly
up to 4K, 120 frames and loading in 5 seconds
on PC. Yeah, sir.
So even that 5 is a bit of a stretch. I can't even read the hints anymore.
That's what I gotta say about it, Loke. I mean, not Loke, but K Mega. That's what I gotta
go about Sony bringing their games to PC. I don't have to worry about paying for their subscription to have cloud save.
Right? No, you don't have to worry about that. You ain't got to worry about paying for having their be paying for the paywall. Like everything that PlayStation stands used against Xbox and saying that they were going to buy these super duper PCs, which they never did. Xbox gamers, that's what I'm saying. Like Xbox and PC is my jam. So like the writing was on the wall once they started to see, like, I mean, Quantum Break didn't do that well, and then when
but that game is phenomenal though.
Oh no, but it didn't do that well. But Gears 4 was broken, but that was their first true attempt. After that, when Forza Apex dropped, and then after that, Forza 3, it was a wrap, Jack. They were
High Wheels.
It was nuts. So they started making, and then Sea of Thieves just became a phenomenon on PC. So it was,
and Sony games are cheaper on PC because God of War is only $50.
I think that's where when I said my video today, it was basically like, I mean, look, you asking me to pay $70 for this, $500 for a console. Then you want me to pay for a subscription that the older games aren't performing well. And then my saves are locked behind the paywall. And then you want to also charge me for $70 per game? Nah, bruh, something's got to give. So I'm like, if you're going to charge $70 for your games to come day and date, cool, I'll do that. What I'll do is just upgrade my PC from my 2070 to something that's elite that comes at the end of this year or at sometime next year. And I'm set. I'm set. Yeah. I'm set. There's no reason for me to even be tripping about it. So it is what it is. But let's go ahead and get Lo, what do you think, man? Do you think that this is do you think that there'll eventually be a day-to-day And how good is this for Sony to finally admit that this is a good thing for not only for gamers, but just for them overall?
Yeah, first off, I just want to reiterate what Ham said. Picture, okay, let me not go all the way in because that might hurt. But still, this is gonna happen, okay? This one's for all the fanboys. This is gonna happen. You're either gonna take it the hard way or the easy way. But this is gonna happen, baby. This is gonna happen, baby.
Get
This
ready
is
for the
happening.
KY jelly insert. Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is happening. Just
Sorry,
make
I
peace
had to
with it.
do it.
It'll hurt less. It'll hurt less, I promise. Just don't fight it. Okay? As far as the business is concerned, dude, I've been saying it, man. For years, I've been saying it. These companies, man, they don't really care about you. They're out here to make this money. And I say this as a business owner myself. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really care. Like, does my customer have flu or not today? You know, I'm just trying to sell product, and all companies, as far as I'm concerned, are doing the same thing. Some of them are better at presenting a false facade. Some aren't. You know, and the sooner gamers can wrap their heads around the fact that none of these companies are trying to do you favors, the sooner we can all live in peace and we can get rid of the console war, which is not really a console war. It's just everyone fighting to see who can get digged down more by whoever's doing the digging.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Wow, that's
that was a powerful exit.
That was a very explicit and powerful exit. Whoa, somebody needs some
exotic butters
after that one. But anyway, okay, so all right, Matt, what maybe you're gonna have to follow after that, bro. I don't even know.
All right.
So what do you think?
We all saw, I feel like we all saw this coming. Most people, like even towards the end of the last generation, we all kind of saw this coming. Like, it's just a matter of when, and then, you know, once they got, who was it, Nixus? Is that who it is? The port house?
Yeah.
Yes.
Once they got Nixus, it was like, it's confirmed. I mean, they didn't say it outright, but I mean, it's pretty much confirmed. Unless, like, they're not going to turn Nixus into some action adventure developer. They port games to PC. That's what they do. So it's kind of, it's just a given that it's going to happen. It just depends on when. And I feel like the when is because the mystery of the when is because they're trying to figure things out right now. Like, for example, they're probably trying to figure out, because K-Mega brought this up just a second ago, they're probably trying to figure out that pricing, because I feel like they shot themselves in the foot when they said our games are $70. Because if you bring your game day and date to the PC and you ask for $70, they aren't having that shit.
No,
they will not have any of that.
They'll look and say, what?
And you can scale it to look better than the PS5.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Which is another
Exactly.
And they put it on PC if it's not optimized correctly. They won't do it.
Dude.
That's the thing.
But see, that's go ahead.
I'm sorry, but they're thinking how on earth are we gonna continue to sell our PlayStation, which they really want to do? How are they going to continue to sell that? And the main thing is you're getting this premium experience. Meanwhile, really, PC's getting the premium experience. They're getting the better experience, and most likely, because like I said, they're not going to charge PC players $70 for that game because it won't work, and they're going to be getting that experience for less money. So that right now, I bet they're trying to figure out how on earth they can do this as quickly as possible without getting pushback from the fans that already have this PS5.
You know what, Matt?
That's the question.
Matt, I hate to just interrupt you, but you know what's funny about all this is
What's
that
that?
is that PS2 came in, right, as trying to be the computer in the front room, right?
Yep.
And now PlayStation finds itself, since it woke up, the giant that is, Microsoft as a business. Not particularly Xbox exactly, but somehow, I'm not going to say Xbox did it, but somehow Microsoft finessed Sony into into thinking that they were tall enough to get on the ride. And yes, Sony is great. They're a freaking quality company, 100%. And this is no shade to them. But somehow, when they were competing for the living room, they somehow lost some sort of battle somewhere inside, and now they're trying to put games onto what they were going up against in the first place, which was the PC.
But Hams, you gotta admit, Sony always had the tendency to get comfortable. They always have a tendency to get comfortable, and they get big-headed. They have done it throughout generations.
No, this seems like it's more humbling
people
now.
think people thought MLB The Show was funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Games coming to PC in general from PlayStation has to be like the Chappelle of it all.
Yeah. That's Chappelle's show.
Yeah. No. This is pure gold. I mean, like I'm looking at Fahim just going off and just like talking about, well, this is benefiting for getting, bro. I've been on this situation from 2016. I told PlayStation, I told Porter Rock, told J Dubs, I told all them cats I told Poster, all them cats out there. When they looked at me and thought that I was some damn fool, and all those people in the chat that was just calling me all types of names, just stupid, this, that, whatever. I'm not going to get my flowers, but you know what I'm saying? But the point is, I'm sitting here laughing at y'all's ass because you thought that PlayStation was going to go ahead and just continue the same path because they told you that, and that was the narrative. And I kept saying, PlayStation is not going to look at Xbox. And if Xbox is anywhere profitable having their games on PC, they are not going to sit there and let that happen because you know what that means. And it goes back to what Loke said. If Microsoft has any indication of taking over the industry, that's Sony's ass. They know it. Nintendo is safe. Nintendo stays in their lane. Xbox is like, you good, we cool, we can work together. But Sony, nah. All that
They
other
step
shit,
out of pocket.
Yeah, you've been out of pocket for a long time. We're waiting. We're waiting.
Can't make it sound like a cowboy.
What did somebody used to say? They don't want to wake up the behemoth. They did not want to wake up the behemoth.
So that's what's really happening here. So Sony's like, and like you said, Solo earlier when we was on the first topic, is like Sony's just coming in with a service and they reckless with it. They're like, here we go, it's a service. Well, we got 3 tiers, let's go. Even though they don't even need 3 tiers, only need 2. But good luck. Now they got games as a service and shit, man. Sony's backpedaling. Like the 30-year God is now it's getting his ass kicked by the tarnish. It is.
So now y'all see.
Godric is getting his ass whooped right now.
My analogy fits.
Yes.
That the Sony is the DC universe, and Microsoft, especially when it comes to games as a service and the Game Pass versus the PS Premium thing, they're playing catch up.
Hey, I said this yesterday on next podcast. Sony might be on welfare right now, trying to get money. Anyway,
I mean, they're saying services is welfare gaming. Like, look what Sony is. Look, it's going to be eventually time too for them to jump on and put their games day and date on their service. Because listen, it's okay. It's not even a problem. I love that Sony's making these moves for their consumers, and I'm a consumer.
Absolutely.
So this
but they're not doing it right. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, because they're just jumping in. You know what I'm saying? But look, bro, this is a whole.
But you got to give them a little bit of credit and just that they are jumping in because I mean that is what Game Pass was in 2017. It was 100% just dive in, and we're not even that dope.
Yeah.
because Game Pass, when it first came out, I remember subscribing to it, and I was like, dude, this is not it.
Oh no! I mean, I looked and I was like, man, yeah. But I'm like, I'm going to still subscribe to it because I'm subscribed to EA Play and everything. But I was like, this is better than EA. This is better than EA Access at the time. That's what it was called before it's called EA Play.
Yeah, I paid that $30 a year.
Yeah. Well,
Sony's service will be good. But the thing is, the issue at hand is that they're late.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, because we also have to assume that while Sony's service is getting better, Game Pass is just static. That's what we have to assume.
Yeah, and so
you're chasing now.
So this is what I was saying. Like when you was asking me last week, why am I putting my chest? I'm saying it with my chest out that Xbox is going to take over this generation.
Yeah, I think I don't know, man. Like, there's just so much that happens still before. I'm not going to pretend to have the clairvoyance to understand that right now.
I'm telling you right now, when Jim Ryan conceded today. Just a couple of hours before the show started.
Concede as if he lost everything.
He means a blowout, dude.
Did you listen to what he said?
You're pretending like it's 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter and the PS is down by 30. Relax, dude.
No.
He said concede.
It's second quarter. PlayStation was up by 25.
It's like he crossed the road and he shook hands with Phil.
This is how this situation happened. PlayStation was the first quarter. PlayStation was up by 25. Now all of a sudden, PlayStation looks and it's in the middle of the second quarter. And Xbox is jumping on their ass, and it's right now a 2-point lead for PlayStation. That's how close this shit has gotten.
I still think we're in the first quarter.
No, son.
While you think we're in the second quarter, I'm like, dude, when did the first quarter end?
Did you not see the world numbers this week? Xbox is on PlayStation's ass.
Dude.
No. This was overall.
I just feel like in the sense,
Xbox is on there.
I feel like in the sense of console generation, it's still the first quarter.
Oh, okay.
I feel
we'll see.
Bro, I'm saying
it with my chest out. I'll take
you
the
are.
L. I'm saying it with my chest out.
You won't know
this
until
is it.
This is it. Nah, man. Look. K-Mega, me and you still have a bet live, right? When I told you that PS is still going to win this generation.
No. I said because this is why they conceded because of this reason right here.
We're back.
because
oh my God.
Listen, Jim Ryan said it today, right? A couple of hours before the show. He said, "Sony, the console market is narrowed. It's not the main focus." That was all that killed the PlayStation stand narrative completely. I think that there might be somebody. I hope to God that there's some people out there that got family and friends and they watching and they calling and checking on them because there's some people that drove so hard, capped so hard about sales, console sales.
It's about more of making money, K.
I forget, K-Mega, that you're usually talking about the fanboy.
Yeah, when I say the PlayStation stand,
discussion. instead of the actual platform itself.
Right.
Sometimes I feel like you're talking about the platform.
No, I'm never talking
when really
about the
you're
platform.
talking about
I love PlayStation.
Because you say concede, and that's such a heavy term when you use that with
well,
console, but you're saying fanboys should concede after that, which I guess
no. Okay, so we gotta get to that last topic so we get the hell out of here. But no, my point was that no, Sony themselves as a company, they conceded.
Oh my God!
They conceded.
He's tripling down on.
You've been saving this one the whole show, haven't you?
It's over.
Like you've been letting all of us talk stuff, and you were like,
sitting here rubbing his hands together like,
topic, I'm
rubbing nose in it right now. Rubbing that
Phil
nose in
his
it.
As long as Sony is still in business after all this, it ain't over, dude. It ain't over. As long as they still in business after all of this,
it is about to go down, bro. When he said that the console market is narrow, I mean the console aspect, that was all what PlayStation was driven home, was that old ideology of console sales is what matters. That's why we will never do what Xbox is doing. The third place.
Okay, Mega. Nintendo kicked all our asses.
You're right. But Nintendo's kicking PlayStation's ass on home court. Like, PlayStation has no home court right now because PlayStation is getting beat in the United States by Xbox, and in Japan, PlayStation's getting named.
They've always been hurt.
No,
in the US.
No, not all the time. No, not all the time. But they're getting curb stomped by the Switch. They're getting curb stomped. They over here. They're like the Golden State in Japan. Oh, Nintendo is. They're not playing. They are not playing with, and they don't like Sony either. So Nintendo is sitting back in the back like shit.
Got ripped off.
Xbox, whatever you need, bro. Whatever you need, we got you. We can't. That's our Japanese brothers, but we gotta.
Premature.
I think it's premature as hell, bro. He said, bro, when I hear concede, I see somebody pulling a white flag up on a flagpole. That's what I see when somebody says concede. In the fight, like I don't I can't even put this together properly.
The championship game, and there's like 1 minute or 2 minutes left, and everyone knows the other team has won, and the coach will lose.
This is how this is.
Bama after the first quarter versus Florida International.
Man, Sir X-Man chat, this is exactly what this is. This is exactly what this is. Second quarter, they're down by 2-3 points, and everybody knows what's about to happen. Like,
who concedes at that point?
Oh shit, you see it all the time in sports. Hey, okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, I don't know if you got. We're gonna move to the last topic. But if you watch the Golden State Dallas game yesterday, this is exactly how this happened. Dallas was trying to play tough. They were playing hard, but everybody knew.
Luka was 1 of 8 at that point. No, that's not a good analogy.
It's a great analogy because Sony is not batting 1,000 right now. Tell me what Sony's batting 1,000. What is Sony batting 1,000 on right now? Is PlayStation doing the same type? Is Sony's messaging is just as powerful? Is Sony's messaging just as powerful as last gen? No. Is Sony games as stout
right now? Like I'm considering going to the US Embassy.
This podcast.
Welcome to GRG, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here.
Wrap it up.
In America because of my skin color, just so I can come look at your face and tell you to repeat that lie.
Every week I will repeat it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the people out here who feel the same way that I get. King David from Iron Lords. It is almost about to be a rap, Jack. It's the beginning of the end. You can only be on top for so long. Sony, it was a great run.
Oh my
But
God.
it's
Got me
about the
here
fat lady
sounding like a
is
fucking pony,
singing,
man.
and that motherfucking chick is
I
blowing.
hate you.
She sounds like
Nigga, I hate you,
Adele. She
man.
sounds like
You got me out
Beyonce.
here.
She sounds
You got
like
me out here
Aretha
defending a
Franklin.
billion-dollar
But she's
company, man. Screw you, dog.
okay. Let's get to the last topic and get the hell out of here. Oh shit.
This
Okay,
dude.
so
Oh,
he
I
said
know,
this
dude.
might.
This
Let me
dude.
read this chat. He said this might seem super unrelated, but you guys going to be watching the Dead or Alive 6 tourney at Combo Breaker tomorrow. You know what? I will try to catch some of that stuff. I will definitely. I do enjoy playing Dead or Alive 6. I am gonna I am gonna make a video talking about fighters and where they need to go. I was gonna do it next week, but I think I'm gonna do it this weekend. And because when you look at games like Guilty Gear Strive and other things, Guilty Gear Strive is a beautiful game. It's a great game. It's not one of the best fighters for me because I just normally get my ass kicked in that game, but it doesn't make sense for a game to be on PC and PlayStation and hasn't broke 1 million or just broke over 1 million. That's not good enough. You know, and there's so many great fighters out there. I think that there's a lot of things that they have to do. So I will talk about that and make a video about that. But let's get to the last topic of the night. And get the hell out of here. I'm having fun with this. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and clip this, record this, save it. Because I'll take my L with grace if I'm wrong, but I just don't I feel just as confident as I said this, and Farscape will tell you in the chat, I was adamant about what I said about PlayStation was going to do the same thing.
You got one prediction right.
Oh,
now
no.
you're super confident.
No. I bet 1,000 quite often. I'm about anywhere from 6 to 7 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? I said
we believe you because you're saying it.
No, sir. I'm telling you. The longer you get to know me, the more I'm going to see it.
We might not have time for the quiz.
Okay. Oh, that's right. We got to get to moving. All right. So let's talk about Kate Sanchez. All right. So she we asked her to come to the show, and she did not reply back. Unfortunately, nobody was going to. No. I wanted to hear, because you know what the situation is, right? When people say stuff in text, it usually can come off different than how a person says it to you in their voice. So I wanted to get an explanation of that. But okay, for the people out there that don't know, okay, so this she's a critic, and she's fairly popular. So, but she was talking about Game Pass, and she said Game Pass is good for people who can't drop money on games because games is a class exclusionary hobby that disproportionately keeps brown and black folks out of gaming, and that's always been my only Game Pass take. I'm good. And so let me read a little bit more. She goes after the people that says it has no value. But let me go to this part. But that doesn't erase the immense value it has for people who can't afford to drop $40 to $70 on a game and even be in the same year of a sports game as their friends. The ability to access a whole library and fill blind spots in game because you can't play before, or just have access to games in general, is something that invaluable and will remain one of the biggest moves in diversifying gaming, because it removes price as a barrier, or rather lowers it substantially. Anyway, I just think game industry professionals don't take into account the extreme class barrier that has been a consistent, constant in gaming enough. And when you make arguments on things, you need to also understand the intersections of identity that plays into it. So basically, I mean, let me go ahead and read this other part. So she says, I was in a game trivia contest and it sucked because most of was retro, pre-K, as a job, gaming, knowledge, and I realized just how much I have not played and will not play because we were given one game a year and had to hope that a friend would invite you over to play new ones. I see my bias in the argument here, but more poor brown girls getting to play games and getting to be current in gaming is something I desperately want. Okay, so I'm gonna go to you on this one first, Matt. Okay, so like I said, I kind of understood some of the stuff that she was saying. I could feel it, but I know broke ass white people too. You know what I'm saying? When we growing up, it's not all about just being about black and brown. And I thought that that was a disrespect to black and brown families out there that, you know, that has money or has income. I just don't understand where her logic was coming from there. So maybe if you can understand what she was saying from what I read, or if you read it through yourself, give me an explanation of what you think is right and wrong from her point.
Yeah, so I feel like she had in her head, she thought this was a really, like, she had the right idea in her head. What the problem that I had with it was, like, why black and brown people? Like, that's, like you just said, there's a lot of poor white people. There's a lot of poor Asian people. There's a lot of poor Hispanics. There's a lot of poor black people. There's a lot of poor everybody. I don't know, like, it didn't have to be a race thing, but you made it one, which is just, it seems a little weird to me. And, like, I get what she's trying to say, like, because there is an issue of a certain class, like certain, I don't know, social status of people being excluded from gaming. That is a reality, but it's not just black and brown people. Like, it's everybody. It's lots of people. And I just think she had a good point that was worded very poorly. And that's really all I can say on it, honestly. I don't want to just rail on her too hard, but it was just worded really poorly, in my opinion.
Gotcha. Okay, so what about you, Ham Solo? What is your take on it? I know that you were like, damn. I heard what you were saying in the DMs, but let everybody know what you think overall of what you think. Do you think that she had any valid points at all?
You know, I see where she was trying to go, but this kind of goes to me. It kind of speaks a lot about today more than it does about her or this speech. Like, I just feel that people are just so out of touch with what they talk about versus, like, the reality that we all live on, you know, in this world, or better yet, in this sense, what it feels like she's saying is in United States. Because you definitely can't be meaning that just worldwide, right?
Absolutely not.
So I just feel like people are not very good at communication at this time in the world. I feel like people with very large followings, or people that know how to word things well, do not say the correct things to get people on the same page. They feel like they have to say something divisive to make a point or to drive something home, instead of just saying what something is. Like, hey, gaming is expensive. That's what she just said. Yep. But the way that she worded it was, game is hard for these people. And it's like, no, it's not just these people. It's a lot of people. It is, those that are trying to go out and get this stuff that they've saved up for however long, and they still can't get a hold of it. Those people that live in, areas that you cannot buy this stuff or find this stuff, where you don't have the, readily available opportunity just to get up and just go buy whatever you want. Sure, gaming is hard for those, but we have things like Game Pass to make it a lot easier to be able to play on different hardware. I mean, if she would have said that, it would have been A-okay, right?
Right.
But instead, she decides to bring a certain type of people into it, where it's like more of a sympathy grab kind of feeling, or a very political thought. Like I just don't like it when it feels like I'm being pandered to. And people and other people can smell that as well. A lot
of great points. Yeah.
Yes.
People can smell your pander. And that one smelled aggressive. Same as the guy that said cyber gaming earlier.
Oh yeah, the cop. Yeah.
That was cringy.
I see where he's kind of going with, there's a lot of access to do wild stuff in the world. If he said that, we can agree. We all can agree, there is a little bit too much access to some things, or not enough control within public schools to have a handle on what's going on mentally with these people and their families. Sure, I think everybody could agree with that. But when you point out one thing in specific and say, this is the issue, or this is a big problem, everyone puts a microscope on it, and they're like, you're missing a lot of other issue, and you're focusing on this? You sound crazy right now.
Yep.
That's what I gotta say. I'm done.
Yeah, no. You made some very, very, very good, excellent points. Actually, I will say this though, he was trying to divert with that, and that's what I hate about when people try to use video games as a point of why there are violence in the United States the way it is. And the reality is that there's video games in Africa, there's video games in Sweden, there's video games in Ukraine, there's video games all over the fucking world, and United States is the only country in the world that has the most shootings than all of them. And we're talking about some countries out there that's violent as shit. So we're talking Russia doesn't even come close to what America's doing with children in school. So that went through me. I will definitely talk about that when we do that podcast. But yeah, it's all pandering, and I agree with that. Like when you hit that point of saying you're trying to forcefully trying to make a point, and it just didn't hit well. I totally agree. So let me go ahead and go to you on this one, Lo. What is your thoughts? I know that you were definitely not a fan of hers, but after me reading everything that she said, do you feel that some of her points kind of hit, or do you think that everything that she said was completely asinine?
Hey, before you get started, I'm gonna back off because I'm gonna be at work at get up at 5 a.m. for work for overtime. So
okay, so
but it's been fun, guys.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
I was going to let you be last to make your point, but okay,
yeah.
It was great. But where can they find you at, Sir X-Man?
Can't find me here on GRG. Find me here there on the next podcast on Thursday. I'll try to get some streams out on Twitch for you. Yeah. Other than that, everybody have fun, play games, be safe out there, and enjoy yourself. Life's meant to be enjoyed.
Amen.
All right, man.
All right, everyone.
Good
Catch
talking
you
to you,
on the
man.
flip.
And thank you for Ace Combat, brother. I really do appreciate it, man.
Oh man, I can't wait to play you in and blow you
Hopefully
out the
you can
sky, bro.
Yeah, you probably will because it's going to take me a while to get better. But I will whoop your ass at some fight night if you don't get scared. So, because I will do it early.
That depends on if I don't work for triple time on Monday. I haven't made that decision yet.
I'm pretty sure you'll do it because you're going to run from me.
No, it ain't that. I like the loot, baby.
All right, man. Take it easy, brother.
Yeah, gotta have it. All right, y'all. Have fun. I'll be listening while I'm falling asleep. Catch you on the flip.
All right, man. Okay, so so Loke, all right. So go ahead. I mean, since you're the last one to talk about it, so send us home.
I don't want to go like deep into it because criticizing people from your country is an issue, and criticizing people from a certain demographic makes it a bigger issue. And depending on what demographic you're from, the issue gets even bigger. So, yeah, I'm just gonna say I just disagree with the point. I have deeper thoughts about it, but I don't know, man. I'm not gonna get into it.
You're not gonna get to it. Okay, all right, I got you.
No,
I got you. All right. Well, that's no problem.
I'm not comfortable.
I got you. My thing is that I think I understand where she's trying to come from, and listen, I mean, there's a lot of, but I mean, just to single out about people of color being broke and this, I mean, just come out and just say Game Pass just makes it. I think like people going after her talking because she was talking good about Game Pass, got her to get on this rant, and then so she wanted people to support her in her crusade of explaining why people of color, it's important for people of color like this. Listen, I mean, I think she just got caught up in the moment personally. I think that, sometimes, and look, it's happened to me too. It happened to everybody. When you have a lot of these people that constantly badger you about the silliest shit in the world, about, a service that is good for all gamers, but then, they only want to just play a side because that's just what they want to do. That makes their day. It wears on people, and I think that she just came out and just was angry and then aggressive with her message, and then wanted to try to put politics behind it as well. And I think that it didn't land all right. It didn't land right. Got her point. But it was just like what Dee said, and Dee's right. It was. I was like, well, what her first comment was pretty deep, but it was deep like a puddle, like she said. It didn't resonate the way that it was supposed to, and unfortunately, so like I agree with Loke, like saying we do have a problem in this country of always criticizing and talking bad about other people, and not uplifting and being more supportive, and especially within different communities where it's just where it's always hate, and it's a sad situation. But okay, all right. So let's go ahead and we got 8 minutes. So let's go ahead and get the trivia going before we get out of here. And you know what? I feel pretty good. Feel real good. I took a couple of sips. I made sure that I was not going to get lit by the end of the show to where I would fail. So I'm ready for this. Yeah. No, I was over here like, man, boy, at the beginning of the show, I was like, fuck this. I'm cracking a bottle. I'm going to start sipping. But I composed myself. So let's get to it. All right. What you got for us, man? What you got? You said you was coming with the heat. I'm excited.
First off, mini rant that has nothing to do with video games. Darwin Ham has just been confirmed as the new Lakers head coach.
I think that's a good.
Darvin Ham.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I'm not a fan.
But see, you don't know what his he doesn't have a pedigree. So that's people want big names, but sometimes I mean,
no, it's not even about him. It's not even about him. I think the priority should be on moving Westbrook I don't care who the coach is. You could bring in prime
baby.
They need Westbrook.
Phil Jackson. You could bring in Phil Jackson in his prime. Matt,
Westbrook is one of the greatest NBA players of all time.
Oh my God!
Didn't you say you were looking for a new neighborhood to be built in your town?
You don't. Yes, you do know Westbrook is going to get a statue built in Oklahoma City, and I'm all for it. That's what I'm talking about.
In OKC,
OKC,
and LA.
You know what? By the time it's done, he should have a statue in LA. Let's go with Shaq and Kobe and Kareem and all the rest of them.
I'm not bringing up my Lakers anymore in this place. This is not a safe space.
You're right. I am not no Laker fan. I do not like the Lakers.
I'm a certified Lakers hater.
Me too. Yankees.
Westbrook. Yankees, I cannot wait.
Yankees, Patriots, Lakers. I can't stand them. And Dodgers. I'm not a Dodgers fan either.
You guys are celebrating when you heard that Genie wants to keep him.
I will.
Did they say that?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, apparently.
Dude. Let's go, Westbrook.
I can't wait.
All right, quiz time.
It's gonna be a banger of a season. I can't wait.
It's gonna be a banger of a shot by Westbrook.
I'm not even interested in the finals. Let's start the next season.
What you talking about?
Already.
The finals is gonna be lit. That's gonna be a great finals.
I'm not. It's I easily think that the start of the season with Westbrook on the Lakers still is going to be much more entertaining to watch than any Golden State game.
Listen, Westbrook is going to learn from his mistakes. He's a baller, man. It's going to work out. Anyway,
absolutely.
Trivia time. Let's go.
It's over.
My favorite.
He's still in his prime.
My favorite version of him was on Undisputed every day when they showed his just. Turnovers and bricks. Oh my God, that was just the best part of my day. Was watching that.
Just make me mad. Anyway, let's go. What we got? And people in the chat, if you can listen, let's see what you say.
If the idea is teach me a lesson, I have learned it. Never bring up the Lakers in this motherfucker.
We all love the Lakers.
Hey Mega.
Yes.
Hey Mega, you're going first.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Ed Fries joined Microsoft in 1986. True or false?
False.
It's true. Matt likes games. Ed Fries has no background in programming. True or false?
True.
False.
Oh yeah.
Spotify has more subscribers than Xbox Game Pass. True or false?
True.
Ham's got it. Has the lead. K-Mega.
Yes.
The PS5 Pro and new Xbox Series X and S will apparently be capable of rendering 60 to 120 frames per second at 2150p resolution. True or false?
True.
False. It's 2160p.
Damn it.
Oh,
Matt
wow.
likes games.
Ate him.
Matt likes games.
Yes.
Matt likes games. Sony and Microsoft have not confirmed the existence of a PS5 Pro and a new Xbox Series X or S. True or false?
True. You said wait. You said they have not?
Yes.
That is true. They have not.
Okay. For future reference, your first reply will be the valid reply.
Okay.
Ham. The mid-generation upgrades will offer 8K play according to ppe.pl. True or false?
Fuck is all those letters.
That's the website.
Oh man, I know. I'm guessing that's what it is. So I'm gonna have to say true.
Ham back in the lead.
You giving them easy ass answers. Let's go. Come on.
I don't know that thing off the top of my head. Hey, 2150, bruh. 2150.
I got you. I should have got the 60. That's okay.
The executive president and head of Marvel Games, Joshua Long, revealed that Marvel sought a new deal with Xbox. True or false?
True.
False.
False.
What was his name?
Matt likes. Sorry?
Was the name wrong?
Yeah, the name's wrong.
God damn it, I thought his name was wrong.
Matt likes games. The reason for Microsoft turning down Marvel was to focus on developing their own IP. True or false?
True.
Matt likes games is level with Ham. Spider-Man PS4 sold over 30 million units. True or false?
Over. True.
False.
Damn.
K-Mega.
Okay, here we go.
PlayStation Plus Premium has already launched in every country worldwide as of today. True or false?
False.
K-Mega finally gets 1 point.
We're tied,
Matt
though.
likes games. Everyone who purchased PS Plus at full price will not have to pay extra to upgrade to PlayStation Plus Premium. True or false?
False.
True.
Okay, all right.
I will repeat the question. You can Google it later. The question is, everyone who purchased PS Plus at full price will not have to pay extra
all right.
upgrade.
Yeah. My bad.
Okay. There will be 11 PlayStation 1 games in PlayStation Plus Premium on launch. True or false?
True.
False.
Oh, I thought it was 11. What is it?
9.
Oh, it's only 9? God damn.
Damn.
That's really good.
K-Mega.
Yes, sir.
That's really good.
K-Mega. Kate Sanchez once wrote a piece titled The Quiet Power of the Pink Xbox Controller. True or false?
That's true.
K-Mega draws level. Matt likes games. There are more quote tweets than likes on Kate Sanchez's tweet about the race thing. True or false?
I'm going to say that's false.
Matt likes games is leading. Kate Sanchez presented solid evidence for her claims in her tweets. True or false?
False.
Is now level with Matt likes games. We are now down to the last 3 questions. So K-Mega, if you get this right, you get to pull level with Ham and Matt likes games, and you have to hope that they miss. So at least it ends in a tie.
Can't believe it. 2060. God damn it.
2150.
Because I knew it. I'm like, oh, God damn it. Okay.
You should change your Twitter name to
K-Mega 2150. 2150. That's 2150. Okay, go ahead, bro.
I'm just saying, K-Mega. Remember, I told you I was coming for that ass.
I know you come for that ass. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. I love it.
This one is just for you to draw level. You have no chance of winning today. Are you ready for the question?
K-Mega, that's a fact.
Let's go.
Sony plans for roughly 1/3 of its game releases to be on PC or mobile by 2025, according to a presentation given during the company's annual Investor Day. True or false?
False.
And K-Mega is level. Okay. I tried to slip that by you, but
you did. I gotta be ready. Come on, y'all fuck up.
Matt likes games.
Yeah.
This one is for the win, buddy.
All right.
Sony said it plans to release mobile games via a couple different avenues. True or false?
Is that mobile games?
Yes.
False.
Okay.
False.
And you're wrong. It's actually true.
All right.
So Ham, this one's for all the marbles, buddy. You ready?
Sure.
Don't
No
be typing
pressure.
on your keyboard to Google the answer.
No
No,
pressure.
I'm playing.
Sony
I'm playing a game.
Sony previously said it planned to launch over 20 live service games by March 2026. True or false?
Repeat the question.
Sony.
No pressure. No pressure.
Yo, he's feeling the pressure, yo. He's feeling the pressure.
Yo, he's typing that shit in. Let's go.
Sony previously said it planned to launch over 20 live service games by March 2026. True or false?
False.
Ham Solo wins the day.
Damn it. Ah, he looked that up. Anyway,
Nice.
good win.
Hey, Mega taking the
GG's.
L on his own show.
Oh, man. Damn it.
I've got news for you. You are mine now.
I told
belong to me.
you. I told you, bro. Catch me when I ain't sick.
Oh, shit.
You over here? You over here?
Bro.
You over here
Okay,
beating a
that's
man when
cool.
he can't even.
I got it.
He can't even
I'll
keep
take
the
it.
sweat off of his. fucking
All right.
Ham, you won on a last hope heave. You need to relax, man. Your ego is way too big.
I know, because I made a comeback. That should be impressive in its own right. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get the concentration down. Like, what the hell is going on? But that's cool.
I guess that's what Malone always tells Jordan, right?
Oh,
You barely got it.
This is considered a big move.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
I think that's what he tells Stockton, because Jordan doesn't even listen to him.
Right. That's pretty funny. I love the trivia. I love the trivia. I know that it's late at night and stuff like that, but I promise you, anytime that you want to come on here and hit me with the trivia, you're welcome any damn time you want to, man. Every time because I love it. And I will dominate the next time. I promise. I had to come back.
Hey, man,
really
wishful thinking is always welcome.
That's okay. I'm 1-1 overall, so it's all good. So you know what I'm saying. So when I get the,
he's 500 right now.
I'm 500 right now, and you know if I get invited to y'all's podcast, I want to dominate y'all. You know wherever it's at, I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
You might as well be a Laker at this point.
No, I ain't never gonna be no.
Why would he make that incredibly bad call?
Because he's 500. He's 500.
That's like that's like thinking Xbox is gonna.
Lakers weren't 500.
Oh my god! Yeah, they were way below 500.
Yeah, they were way under that.
Anyway,
Okay, Hammer say something about Xbox. Let's leave the Lakers alone. Jesus.
No, we're about to get the hell out of here. Okay, so I really do appreciate you guys coming on, man. I know it's extra late out there for you folks, so man, thank you again for stopping through.
It's early. It's early. I'm actually getting dressed right now. I'm gonna have breakfast at the hotel lobby. Yeah, man.
Okay, well, it's early. Go ahead and enjoy yourself. Sun's coming out. It's a beautiful day out there. And it's wonderful. So, all right. So where can they find you at, man? I really do appreciate it as usual. The trivia was amazing. You did come for that ass. And I will.
And I got it.
I came out even. I think how many? Well, I came out even. So I think.
Win or lose?
No. Okay,
Did you win or lose?
I lost.
Oh, he knows what happened.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. So where can they find you?
Glad I won.
Oh my god. Where can you find you at, Lo?
At Twitter, at Loke7, LLOUCK. Also always on bullshitting on They Said, We Said on YouTube every Friday. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. All right. Matt, first time to the show. Hopefully it won't be the last. It was great conversations, man. You killed it, you know what I'm saying, for the first time coming up and being on the podcast, especially dealing with these knuckleheads. It was an absolute blast, man. I know you're new and you're raw, but you're very talented. Just like John Wolf, very talented, young, and then next thing you know,
I appreciate that, man.
He's doing stuff with Boom and Ham Solo. I don't even know what the hell to say about him. But but yeah, no, you definitely got a future in doing this, man.
Thank you.
I really am serious about that. So yeah, where can they find you at, man?
You can find me on Twitter at Matt Likes Games. The games is spelled with a 3 instead of an E, and then on YouTube, Matt Likes Games and The Game Drain every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Game Drain, I do like. All right, man. And then last but not least, Ham Solo, really do appreciate it as always coming through. Setting it up, help me set up and get these two guys on. And man, where can they find you at, man? Who's the next guest that you're gonna have, man? I was trying to find the last one that you had with John Wolf, but I guess it didn't fully process. So I'm gonna look and I'll put it in the community tab on my channel so people can check it out. But
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no. Support, love, I mean, it takes a lot to come and do all these podcasts and do all this. And so I just want to show love back to the people who show me love.
Absolutely. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter, first of all, if you need to get in contact with me quickly, at HamSolo05 Gaming. And then on YouTube, I have 2 different YouTube channels. Game Drains on Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And then They Said, We Said with Loke and Cozy Beluga. I have a show on every Friday, 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern. And then obviously I do, if you know of me, obviously, I do the Behind Them Sticks podcast as well on the TSWS Gaming channel, where I have random people within gaming on, and we just talk games, talk about their history with it, and how they
John Lineman from Digital Foundry is very random, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it isn't. Like, I mean, I do my best to get all sorts of different types of people from all over the world. Every once in a while, I have a person that's really popular, like John Lineman. But I mean, I like talking to all sorts of different people. It really doesn't matter what you play on or how you play it. I like to joke about games. I hope that you do. It's lighthearted. It's supposed to be fun.
You love to joke.
Yeah, I definitely do. I definitely do love to joke. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's kind of just, you just tell me to shut up and I just laugh. But it is what it is. So hit me up if you want to be on the show, or if you just want to chat about gaming or something like that. Hit me up on Twitter.
No doubt. All right, guys. We'll be doing a video this weekend. Fight Night Sunday will be this Sunday right after I do my guest appearance on Matt Likes Games podcast, and the links in the description for both gentlemen. And so if you're in the fighters, come on in. It'll be great. The more people, welcome. You know what I'm saying, and I got all different types of fighters on PlayStation, Xbox, on PC. I love them. So it is what it is. But yes, thank you guys. And as always, I know that it's late, but as always, I know that we're getting out here. There's some club spots out there, and I want you guys to be safe. I got to live through y'all because I'm a married man now. Yeah. Go ahead and get that dance off, pants off popping, but be safe. Let's go. Wear your mask. Clean your ass. All right, we out of here. Peace.
Absolutely. See ya.